Everybody ready?
Let's go.
Everybody emotionally prepared, physically prepared, spiritually prepared. Justin,
no.
you give us the word. You tell us when to start the show today, because honestly, you run this bitch today.
Let's go. Ready?
Ow. Ese clap estuvo fucking...
That's a sound check right there. Tremendo sound check. Justin, give us the word. You good? We good?
Yes, sir.
We ready to start?
We're ready.
All right. So, yes, sir.
Hue puta, otra vez, bro. Con esta cruda, let's take that fucking volume down a little bit, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? How's life? How's the world treating you? You know who it is. You know what it is. It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. I'm joined here by my main man to my right-hand side, a man who's joined the forces of Midnight in Miami recently and has proven to be a undisputable co-host that I need to my right-hand side. And ladies and gentlemen, that is not coffee in his mug. To my right-hand side, we got me. What's going on, brother?
Without the Hawaiian shirt on, sorry, guys.
I know.
Laundry's a
yes,
bitch.
Yes. Behind the camera, we got a man who is a wizard when it comes to the razors, when it comes to machinery that will shave facial hair from that facial region. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the camera, we got Diego, Miami Barber. You know what is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't put into words how ecstatic and how much I've been looking forward to today's episode. My guest today is really not so much a guest, but as a recurring co-host at this point. You know what I'm saying? He's literally our most repeat ever guest. He's counting the episodes. He's losing track. He's losing track. That's 4, baby. That's 4 with many more to come. A very good friend of mine, and a coach for quite some time, and I wanted to, for the longest time, be able to introduce him with the next 3 initials that some would arguably say is the pinnacle of mixed martial arts. The man next to me has been working at his craft for over 10, 12, 13 years, and is a man who has not ever taken a day off, is not a man who takes no for an answer. He's been pursuing his dream for the longest time, and it is my pleasure, my honor, my privilege to be able to introduce UFC Fighter Danny, the Colombian Warrior, Chavez, baby. What's going on? Oh my God.
Absolutely, bro.
You know, and ladies and gentlemen, alongside Danny, the Colombian Warrior, we have his right-hand man, someone who has accompanied him in every venture, in every test that the mixed martial arts community could throw at him. He's been there alongside his side for the longest time, and he has not, once wavered his loyalty. Ladies and gentlemen, on set as well, we have mixed martial artist Justin in the house. What's going on?
What an introduction. Thank you very much.
You know what I'm saying? That's a GQ model right there, What's going on? Danny, talk to us. What's up? Last time we saw you, I believe it was before your belt.
Global Legion fight.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that before we dive into into your most recent bout?
Well, the Global Legion fight, it was something that was supposed to happen around March. The coronavirus got it canceled 2 days before. And actually, the funny thing is we did, let me see, this is the 4th episode, and the first 2 were 2 canceled fights.
Yeah.
Under the same promotion, but it wasn't the promotion's fault, The first one, the guy pulled out 2 days before the weight cut. So
We know who it was.
Yeah.
We made him come pinga the other day.
yeah,
Dude,
he made him come pinga.
well, he
That was,
fucking, I mean, he earned
you
that
wanna say
fucking
his
title,
name?
though, dude.
Nah, we won't.
No shine for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Just know that he's
Exactly.
the Come Pinga of the day.
Yeah, he knows what it is. And then, the second one was March, and then it didn't happen. So I was supposed to fight somewhere else.
Damn, so you were like fully trained at that point. You're at the last stretch.
Yeah,
of
no, I was
your
just cutting
camp.
weight. I was just losing the last
Jesus,
pounds,
bro.
and I just all of a sudden they called me to tell me I'm not fighting because the coronavirus just canceled all the events in Miami. Actually, not in Miami, or the whole
Yeah,
state.
the world.
Yeah, actually the whole world.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was still training during the quarantine just in case anything pops. And then they tell me, actually I did get one time a call. I got a 24-hour notice to a UFC in Jacksonville. That was May 29, if I'm not wrong. But
right.
I was already weeks before. I was already scheduled to fight for another organization, and I was gonna be at 155. So I gained a little bit of weight. I stayed a little like bigger and stronger because I was gonna fight not at 45 that I'm used to. I was gonna be at 55. So when I got a call, they're like, "Oh, Danny, well, my manager called me. Well, how much you weigh?" And I'm like 174.5, and I just ate. And he's like, you can't make 46 tomorrow. I'm like, 46. What? I'm like, tomorrow, by the next day, 10 in the morning. So it doesn't happen, Papa, And I was like, fuck, I guess. I was thinking, was that one of my shots? Whatever. So then they called me to tell me that the fight was in a 555. It's not gonna happen. Like they keep pushing it back. So I kept telling my manager, man, we can't take so long either. We need to fight. Like I'm in good shape already. I've been in shape for the last 2 camps. So Global Legion hits us up and they're like, we're throwing something down on July 18. So I'm like, okay. And they're like, look, same thing. Same guy, same fight, the bell, main event, like same thing. And it was gonna be here in Miami. So I agreed. And I got ready, I trained, for 5 rounds. But then like a week before the fight, they're like, something happened with a week and a half before the fight, you saw that they were gonna close down the gyms again. They were gonna close down. That's when they closed down the restaurants, but not like they didn't close the restaurant. They just told them you cannot eat in. You have to dine out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when that happened, they were closing the gyms again. But then the very next day they made another. They sent another letter saying that they were gonna keep the least gyms open, but like now it's like more feet apart or something like that. I can't remember what happened, but they let the gyms stay open. But the venues, they closed. So they had to push it to Tampa. So I had to go all the way to Tampa to fight for the title. But it was actually a cool thing, believe it or not. Like I'm used to fighting in Miami. I'm always fighting in Miami. So going out,
Change of scenery,
having a road
sure.
trip, that's when I was like, Justin is on with the car. He went and picked me up. We rode for 4 hours and a half. 4 hours and a half or 4 hours?
Yeah, it was about 4.5 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours. And in those 4, it was cool because, of course, they pay for your hotel, so you get there, you have a free telly.
The continental breakfast right there.
Yeah. Then you just like I said, just going on a little trip, and at the same time you're gonna fight. It's kind of cool, and I liked it. And I did what I had to do: go out there, make weight, fight, get my hand raised, got the bell, went home.
It's on the day in the office, Was it different not being able to have, because you're what Dana White would call a needle mover. You bring a lot of people. You sell a lot of tickets. Was it different not having that large of a support system there in Tampa?
Well, the beginning of my career, I never sold tickets. I used to always have probably like the smallest, like my circle will know that I'm fighting because they'll see me after practice. Sometimes I'll chill with them and they know I'm fighting, so they were the ones who will go. I wouldn't market myself like that. At the beginning of my career, I just didn't. I was more into like, I just train and fight, and that will take care of everything else. But it wasn't like that. You really have to hit social media. You really have to. And I noticed that later. But at the beginning of my career, I didn't sell tickets. I didn't do any of that. So I was fighting without a crowd. So then I got used to having a crowd because then I started selling tickets. But when I went to Global Legion, like I said, it was only a 50% capacity. So only a few people went for him, and only a few people went for me. So when I stepped in the cage, I didn't hear no boos. I didn't hear that much yay.
Oh, there was still a crowd.
It was 50% capacity, and it was only like 150. So technically, only 75 people were allowed to be there. And I think some of the people are there were for the other fighters as well.
Right.
That are from Tampa, you know, because a lot of us, they left Miami, but there's a lot of fighters that were not from Miami either. So, like I said, like, I don't know if some of those people, because promoters like to have a guest. They'll give, like, for example, a company that's sponsoring them, they'll give them a couple of tickets or a table to that company that's sponsoring them. So they bring whoever they want to bring. They're probably not there for none of the fighters there. They're just there to watch fights.
Right.
They're just fans of the sport. So like I said, not having a crowd, it wasn't a big deal.
Did you, having that long drive compared to, you know, normally a 20, 30-minute drive to the venue or whatever, was it more nerve-wracking to have that long of a drive, a 4-hour drive, to think like, hey, I'm going to fight? Or was it like any other 20-minute drive when you go to a venue that's more local to you?
Well, I wasn't driving, so that made it better. Because if I would have been driving, that would have been different. It would have been more stressful. I wasn't driving. Justin was driving, you know?
Justin, do you feel like, you know, when you're, you know, that's your boy, you know, and you're driving, you know, you're doing, do you feel kind of like the weight of trying to, you know, keep the ambiance cool and like the pressure low, you know, in always being by his side?
I mean, not really. What time we left? Around like 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we left at 8 and we kind of just, it was like we said, a 4.5 hour drive. We just sat there talking, driving, so we didn't really, there was no pressure really.
Oh yeah. Danny, this late in the game, do you get nerves or not really?
Well, when I'm in there, no. When I'm fighting, no. Well, before the fight, even like, it could even be hours before the fight. Yeah, I could get nervous, but the moment I fight, I'm not nervous, which is funny because my last fights, I have questioned myself about that. I'm like, damn, why I'm not that nervous? Am I, like, you start thinking, am I not caring about this that much, or like, why am I not that nervous? Why? Like, I'm not saying I went to almost, because I did have fights where I'll get a little nervous, or at least be nervous in the locker room a little bit. Then when I'm fighting, I'm cold, but I'm saying, like, even in the locker room, sometimes you could still feel a little. But my last 2 fights, my last 4 fights, probably besides the one with the head kick, that one I was a little annoyed because there was too much people and there was such a small space. I was more like annoyed by the people there. I even told I think I was like 2 fights away from being mine. I remember some people came to celebrate, they were being loud, and I was just like, yo, do me a favor, you guys want, or I just get out of here. You know what I mean? Because I needed it.
Because I still got to work, yo.
Yeah, I still got to work, and I'm there, like, you know, trying to zone in.
Trying to get in the headspace.
Because I don't like thinking about the fight so much. I like to take a nap. But in that moment, that fight, I couldn't take a nap because there was no space for me even to take a nap.
I like to take a nap.
So, yeah, I like
to.
Because you have to, like, you can't burn out thinking of the fight so much.
No, that makes sense.
What I mean? It's kind of like, it happens to me a lot, like, for example, when I'm going for a run and I put music. I could put some dope music, something to hype me up. But as I'm running after a while, like, I need to mellow down a little bit. Like, too much, I start thinking about the fight too much, and I'm like, I gassed. I'm running, and I'm already like, I'm gassing just because there's moments I'm jogging, and then I'm like, I go faster just because the song gets me in it. You know what I mean? Or even when I'll be biking, and I just start going faster when the song, no matter, the song will hype me up, and I start thinking about the fight. You know?
Venom by Eminem right there.
No, it's many songs that could just get me in the mood for thinking of the fight and everything. But then there's moments that I'm like, okay, let me just put something like a Bob Marley song or something to chill out, you know? Because, yeah, you could burn out. And it happened to me before when I was an amateur. I remember my coach at the time was like, he told me one thing. He's like, I see you're excited to fight. Because I was excited. I was not really nervous. I was excited. But he told me, like, even being excited or nervous, it could be similar. You're making your heart pump blood fast and you're not doing anything right now. You're not fighting. Energy, yeah. So by the time you get to the fight, you're gonna feel a little tired because all you're doing is thinking of the fight. Even though you're like, it's in a positive way that you're excited to fight, you're not nervous to fight. You're actually excited to fight. He's like, you're spending all this energy in the locker room. You need to spend it there. And it was right because when I actually got to the ring, I remember me about to start the first round. I was already like, I really mentally used so much energy in the locker room. I didn't do it here. You know what I'm trying to say? Even though I won the fight, I did great. I like to like get away from the fight for a little bit. So that's why I take my nap. And then once I wake up from the nap, that's when I feel good. That's when I'm actually like, I feel like I'm ready to go. Because I always wake up like 2 to 3 fights before mine. Unless I woke up a little early. But normally it's 2 to 3 fights before mine. I'll be ready to go. You know, but for the title fight, it was the last fight, so I woke up way earlier. But I still was able to take that nap. Like I said, just get off of them. Because the moment you get in the locker room, they give you the instructions, the rules, go to sleep, and then I go to sleep. Some people stay awake looking at their phones or just, they start warming up right away. Some people warm up very early. I'm not like that. I just like to relax. And then, like I said, what's it called?
Fights before?
Fights before me. That's when I hit up Justin. I'm like, all right, let's start shadow boxing. Let's start warming up. He'll help me to stretch. Stuff like that.
What was the game plan going into the title fight?
Well, I remember I already had I was ready to fight him in March. So I already knew how I wanted to fight him. So now I just had more time to prepare. Now, the difference is like going into, and this is what happens in fights and that's what happens in camps. I always say that. That's why you hate missing fights. Because I felt like for my last 2 fights, I was the most healthy I've been going to camps. Like I really had nothing bothering me, neither bothering my camps. Going into the title fight, I had pulled, and it's funny because all my last 4 Ws, I had something happening either 2 weeks or something before the camp. You know, I hurt my finger, I jammed something. It just happens, you know what I mean? About 2 weeks before the title fight, I ended up putting like a tendon that was by my hamstring. So I really couldn't use the leg right, and I had to take off like almost like a week, and I didn't like that because I was like, damn man, I don't like that. This is one of the things I don't like. I don't like closer to the fight to be taking days off because I can't train because I'm hurt or anything. But the game plan at the end of the day was to use my right hand, literally, use my right side. He's a softball, so softball is same as him. He has to use most of his left to attack me while I use most of my right. It was literally to strike with him and stop his takedowns. You know, if we go to the ground, we're ready for it. But it was really to stop his takedowns and I'll strike him. And it worked out, you know. So that was the way to get the title because that was a best way to sell me too. A W was a W. There was going to be good
Promotion.
Good things coming out of that W.
Right.
But nothing better if it would have been the first round knockouts what really sold them and they were able to get me in.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Did you know that UFC was in the horizon before you obtained that title, or was it afterwards that it was pretty concrete?
I think afterwards it was easier for me. You know what I mean? I think like they knew a little bit about me, but they were just like, let's see. Because at the same time, I took a big break from my last fight compared to the
right.
So I had almost a year and something off. So they look at those things sometimes. And I think like one of the reasons that kind of hurt her is that they were looking at the other guy too. They were looking at the other guy to put him in the contender.
Oh shit!
So since they were looking at the other guy, they saw how I beat him and that I was actually like another guy that's trying to get in. So I think that's one of the things. Now just they were looking at me. I think they were looking at the other guy because a W against me, that he was gonna go to the contender. So he was winning. Wow. He needed to win that to go to the contender, and I needed to win that to try to get myself in too, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But he was easier. He's only 27 years old. I'm 33, so huge difference there. Believe it or not, they look at ages a lot. And then that's it. That's literally how it went down. Wow, I really believe it was eyes on him too. That's the reason why it helped me to get into.
That was perfect, man. You put a fucking hurt on him.
Oh yeah.
That looked good.
Talk to me about the moment that you got the call. You got the belt. You're on top of the world, and the way that you got the belt too was phenomenal. Talk to me about the moment you got the call. How long after that was it? How was the reaction? Tell me about that.
Actually, I was sleeping. I was just like knocked out. I was
another one of those naps.
Yeah, I was just sleeping. And my manager kept calling me, and I literally kept hanging up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sleepy, bro.
I'll call him as soon as I wake up. It was one of those. I'm just very sleepy. And I wake up, and then he's like, "Oh, call me, whatever." So then I call him, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? I just woke up." Bye-bye. He's like, "Oh, look, Danny, he's telling me like, oh, look, we're trying to work to see if we could get you in, probably not to the contender, but straight to the UFC, but we don't know. We're just trying to, he was just letting me know that he sent some emails and he was doing his job, you know what I mean, to get me something,
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool, you know. And he's like, look, you know what we should do already is start getting your medicals ready, like, because you know medicals from the UFC is completely different medicals from regular fights. They're way more detailed. No, just more different things. Like they asked me for an EKG. I never got asked for an EKG in the other fights. They asked you for a brain scan, an MRI.
Wow.
And they made me do my EKG. Something was just a little off of my EKG, and they believe it was because I was stressed out that same day. Because I was late. If I were not getting the EKG, I was not gonna be able to fight. And they gave me like literally a window of 2 hours, and I had to go to the medical urgent place, and I ended up getting the EKG. But I was so stressed out. They said like because it's little things just gives you like a different reading, and they sent me to go get a cardiologist.
Wow.
And I had to go get like what was that called? Something they put like a gel and they're looking at your heart and like I can't remember.
Okay,
An echo something.
Echocardiogram.
Exactly. And
Look at that, bro.
and they made me go. I didn't go to an optometrist. I went to an ophthalmologist, which is a different eye doctor, because they ask for different things. So he told me, like I said, he's like, oh, let's go get these things in case we, you know, they do give us a call, something, we're ready, you know. So I'm like, all right, you know. So we hung up the phone. I got up from my bed. I literally went straight to the living room. Went to go eat something. Can't remember what I was eating. I will go into detail, but I can't remember what I was eating. And he calls me again. I'm in the living room, and he's like, oh, Danny, I got bad news and good news. He literally said it like that, and I was like, okay, give me the bad one. You know what I mean?
I'm the same.
Yeah,
I'm the same.
Give me the bad one first.
100%.
You know? And he's like, oh, can I get you in the contender series? And I'm like, fuck. So I was already thinking about the good news. And I'm like, okay, he's going to tell me another promotion, big money, more money than you probably could make here or whatever, you know. Like, but I literally thought, okay, but I got you something, you know. Because he's going to say, if this is going to be the bad news, the good news has to be something, you know, at least makes up for that. And I'm like, what's the good news? And he's like, I got you a fight on the UFC 252, August 15. And I'm like, nah. And he's like, yeah, for real. I'm like, man, you're lying to me. And he's like, nah, man, why would I be lying? And I'm like, I wouldn't lie to you about this. And I'm like, for real? I'm like, yo, like, I couldn't believe it. The first thing I did, I got on the scale. I was like, oh, let me see how much I weigh. And I see I'm like 172. I'm like, damn, I'm big. You know what I mean? But I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to run today, you know? Yeah. And then we talked, and then he's like, okay, I want to see you in the office later on so you can see the contract, all that stuff. I'm like, damn, is this for real? For real? So I hanged up the phone with him, and first person I called was this fool right here. I called this fool.
Justin.
And I was like, I called him, but he was working. And then I text him, like, yo, I'm calling you to let you know I'm in the UFC 252, August 15. And then he just started texting me back. Like, no way, what? Are you serious? I didn't even, like,
Justin, what was your experience like? You were mid-work, and you got these news. Talk to me.
I don't know. I mean, I just seen, you know, we all work so hard. So when that call did come up, it was, you know, it was a shock. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Well, remember you were saying you were talking to like doctors and stuff. You forgot the conversation.
Yeah, I was on a conference call, and I saw that text message. I called him back right away. Yeah.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Yeah.
And
That's insane.
And then I started calling everybody one by one. And started putting in different group chats because I have, and started telling everybody. But I had to tell people not to post anything because they told me you cannot post anything. You cannot. We have to do it first. And I was like, damn, man, I wanted everyone already. So then I went to the office, saw the contract, and you know, initials, signatures, ID, my bank account, all that stuff. You know.
Yeah, hell yeah, got those numbers right. Yeah. Make sure, let's double check.
And the good thing was a 4-5 deal.
Direct deposit, baby.
The good thing was a 4-5 deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because a lot. The one thing I was thinking, because when he told me I was fighting, I'm thinking, oh, this is a trial fight. Okay. You know, it depends how you do. They may like it, they may don't, whether you're in the card or not.
Is that the standard?
It's a 4-5 deal. It's like, oh, damn, I'm in for 4 fights. That's it.
Is that the standard as far as like bringing in new fighters? You know, we just test you out for the one?
No, I just seen people fight once and never sometimes gone there. So I don't know. I don't know what deals they always do. I don't know. I just thought that. That's literally what I thought. I didn't think it was going to go on second 4-5 deal. I found out about the 4-5 deal when I got to the office. Before the office, he just told me I'm fighting UFC 252. So I'm thinking in my head, it's like, oh, this is the fight to make it or break it. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. When I found it's a 4-5 deal, which is the same, I take it the same way. I'm just like, Now you got 3 more fights. Like it's more
Right.
security for you to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talked about making weight before, but how long of a heads up did you have to make weight for this one?
Well, I had 2 weeks. Actually, 17 days. Because I had 2 more. Because I found out on Thursday in the morning, and I fight the very next Saturday. In 2 weeks, I was gonna fight. So
Was this one of your more demanding weight cuts?
yeah.
He's like, yeah. Justin, I felt like got the brunt end of it.
No, but he was in good shape though. He
Yeah?
only you took off like maybe 1 week after your title fight, and it was right back to work. So.
But as far as like the mental aspect, like were you having to deal with a lot of big sheen?
Oh
Justin?
my gosh.
He's like, oh my gosh.
Oh shit.
I want
The
food.
dirt's coming out now, boy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It was I cut harder weight than this before, but I was younger. I don't know. I gotten older, and it's just. But this was one of the hardest weight cuts I had. I'd say it was hard weight cut because, well, it was first time I ever back-to-back cut had weight cuts in 1 month. I never had that before, So, what happens is that right after the title fight, I fought on Saturday. By Monday, Tuesday, I was already at 179. I was eating a lot. I was going crazy with food. I do that all the
Hell
time.
yeah, you were
I
celebrating,
always
huh?
blow up and then I go back down again. But it's just 1 week of blowing myself up. Like, it's just crazy. I always do that. And
It's like
He always
1
tells me
week
not to-
of milkshakes, burgers, and fries.
Yeah.
Bro,
Breakfast, lunch, and
that
dinner.
reminds me when we went to the fair, bro. Yeah.
I threw up on the ride, remember?
Oh yeah, it was beautiful. He also spent like $500 trying to dunk a clown, yeah, because he was talking
But
shit.
I dunk him.
He did. He dunked him. But he was talking shit, so it's like, all right.
So I eat a lot, and it was like I got to 179, but then I went back down to 172, which means I'm going back to my regular weight, walk around weight, which is 65 to 67. But then I got the call, and like I said, I was not eating. I was when I mean healthy, I wasn't cooking at home. I'll eat rice, beans somewhere else, but I was like, well, you're eating at restaurants.
Yeah.
You're not really cooking at home. Normally I cook at home when I'm getting ready for camps or when I'm training right and just keeping myself healthy. You cook at home. So I was just eating bad, and then to get the call, and all of a sudden I'm at 172, and then you have to train and cut down. You know what I mean? And I only had 1 week to train and 1 week to cut down. 1 week and 2 days to train and 1 week to cut down. By the time I normally when start feeling a little thirsty, like you could feel my mouth is getting dry, and I'm waking up a little like I'm at 53. 54.
Bro, that's how you know your body, bro.
You know what I mean?
It's like, I got cotton mouth. I lost 20 pounds.
That's true. And like your body because you've done it so much, you already know where you are. And I was feeling like that at 60. So I was already like, oh, I'm pretty. Why am I thirsty? I'm at 60. You know what I mean? Like this is where I'm actually like, I'm good. I'm not thirsty whatsoever, but I'm already thirsty at 60. So I was like, damn, this is gonna be a hard. Like I already knew it. I knew it was coming. And the good thing is that it didn't catch me by surprise because I knew it was coming. I was like, wow, it's gonna be a hard wake. I already could tell. You know what I mean? Because once I'm already thirsty by the 60, I was like, yo, because I came down from 72, I'm not coming down from 63, 65 like I normally. Those extra pounds really, really matters, And I had to cut a little bit more water than usual. I had to use my legs to cut the weight. We didn't have a good bathtub. The hot water wasn't that hot. The portable sauna they gave me wasn't that hot. I was not sweating out of it. So I had to go get put Sweet Sweat, which is like a cream that helps you to open your pores, put the sauna suit on, and go running in the parking lot. And the thing is that on Wednesdays, we always have soccer days. You know what I mean? So on Wednesdays, I put a lot of sweaters and we go play soccer for like an hour. And the humidity in Miami helps us a lot. You know what I mean? To sweat.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Vegas is dry at night. It's hot, but it's like it's not humid. It's different. You get to sweat regardless. But what I had to do is like, it gets very boring, so I couldn't just jog it. So what I do, I make spots. Like I'll be like, okay, from here to here, I'm gonna sprint. Like if I'm like running for the ball, or like like put it in my head like I'm playing soccer. So I did that for like 45 minutes, almost an hour, and I lost a lot of weight. And I was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I got to 150, and I was fine. The next day I woke up, and the next day, and then I ate again. I got up to like 152. The Thursday I go and I run. In the morning I go and I do it again. I'm like at 149.3. And I'm like, good. And right before I go to an interviews and stuff, I'm talking to Justin, just chilling with him in watching TV, I think, and I started eating like grapes and started eating a little bit of fruits. I'm like, I'm just gonna get up to like 150 point something, and I do that. Then I go to my room. I went to go take a nap, and then because we had interviews to do that same day. When I went to get up from the bed, my groin started cramping, and then my leg, my hamstring, everything started cramping. I started cramping bad, so I panicked. So I grabbed water and I had to drink water, and I went up to 154. So I was like, oh man, I just lost all this weight, and now I just gained it back. I gotta lose it again. I was going crazy. So I ended up doing a bathtub. I ended up getting to 151 again. Boom, but got back down. The very next day is the weigh-ins, and I'm panicking because I'm like, damn man, like I don't want to start cramping, and because I could tell that I'm that dehydrated already. Like I'm already dehydrated. So the very next day I told Justin, I'm like, yo, we're gonna start at 6 o'clock. We're gonna start at 6 o'clock. And the weigh-ins are from 9 to 11. But like when you cut in, when you can't sleep, and everything to me is like, since I'm doing hot tubs and all that stuff too, I'm always hot. So I had the AC as low as I could have. I had it at 45.
Oh shit! And you think this is bad?
I had like 2 hoodies, 2 like sweatpants on, socks.
Oh.
He was cold the whole time.
For real?
I was fresh. I was like, it feels good.
I need a sleeping bag on top of his bed.
And then I remember I woke up at 4 in the morning. Right before 2 hours before we set up the clock to start cutting weight. And I just went and I'm like, nah man, I gotta go lose this now. So I put in the sauna suit again. I did it by myself. I didn't wake him up. I let him sleep. And I just did it by my own. I went downstairs. And the crazy thing, like I said, like at 3, 4 in the morning, it was pretty fresh in Vegas. I was like, yo, it's not hot or, fun. Nice. It is what it is. I did it for like 45 minutes again, the same thing with like running. Came back, weighed myself, 148.2. So I'm like, okay. But I'm already a little weak. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to take a nap and wait until he wakes up. So I woke up, and just sleeping, I lost another 0.4. I was 178, I'm 147.8. So I'm like, okay, let's do a hot tub. And then I did a hot tub, and we boiled the water and everything. And we pour it in there to make it hot.
Shit.
And I get in it, and I'm there for like 30 minutes, and I only lost 0.4. And I'm like, man, I'm not doing this anymore. Like I was at 147.4, and I'm a pound 0.4 to make weight, but we're already reaching the 9 o'clock. And if you don't get there by 11 and don't weigh in, there's no fight. So and downstairs they know that they're giving you the time. You only got 10 minutes before we have to ride out, because downstairs they had a scale and they have everything there. You know what I mean? Ready, very professional. And I told Justin, I'm like, look, man, I'm gonna take a nap, because I'm gonna take a little nap. Just so I was putting like cold towels on top of me, on top of my head and on my feet to keep myself like my temperature low.
Yeah.
We had to do it like that, right? And the worst, one of the worst things is that he actually grabbed the towels and he put them in the freezer because it was to get them cold. But he left them there for too long and they froze. So it was a mission.
I took all the towels, I stacked them all up on each other, and but they were wet. Yeah, they got frozen together. So I was sitting there like trying to rip them apart. He's like screaming.
I was like, where you at? Where are the towels?
It looks like a 13-year-old's bedroom, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, there was towels everywhere. There was always towels everywhere, and my clothes everywhere, because you constantly, like, you put something on, you go wait yourself, you come back on, you take it off. And towels, you always, like, every time you get off of like the hot tub or anything, you dry yourself with a new towel. So, because you want to get the sweat out. So I told Justin, I'm like, look, man, I got one more push. I'm like, this is the one last push I got. I know for a fact I don't got nothing else, and I'm gonna have to use energy because I never use that. We never really go workout. We don't use workouts to cut weight. We use diet, and then we use shadow boxing, so, but not run and get tired trying to cut weight. We just chill out and we let either the sauna or the jacuzzi. We cut the weight like that. We let the water just come out. But my water didn't want to come out. Like I said, I spent 10 minutes in the portable sauna and I wasn't sweating. My pores didn't want to let go of no more water. Like I knew it, and I was like, yo, I gotta squeeze it out. Like I gotta go run. Run is the only way that no matter what you do, you're gonna sweat. You're running, you're gonna sweat. But I was weak. But I said, fuck it, it's my last push. So I ran for 20 minutes. And the good thing is that moment in Vegas, it was hot. Like the sauna suit would touch me and it would burn sometimes.
Shit.
So it was hot. So I was like, okay, this is a good thing. So I was doing the 20-minute run that I was doing like little sprints here. And then for the next 20 minutes, I just walked it. I was like, bro, I can't run. I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. So all I just did was walking. Just walking, the sun was making me sweat. And you open up the sun, so you see the drips come on. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. When I finally reached to a point where I saw this, well, you came down. And then he was like, you good? And I'm like, man, you know, I sat down, and for a second, I'm like, that's it, man. Let's go see what it is, you know? So we went, dried myself, got on the scale, 145.8. And I was like, damn. Because I didn't really, like, I'll be honest, man, like, 0.2, I'll probably figure it out how to lose that 0.2. I'll squeeze some urine if I can, you know what I mean? Like, you got to squeeze out anything, but to go and try to lose 0.2 now again, like once you dry, once your pores already got to close again, and trying to open them, because it takes a few minutes only, but to open the pores first before you start dripping sweat. Like, oh man, I didn't want to do that no more, you know. Look, and then we made it to the place. But before we made it to the place, like I said, the whole time I was feeling, it's the weakest I ever been going into a weight cut. Like I was constantly like, like man, you know. So I knew it had to do. Not only the wake up, but the way I had to do it. I had to run a lot. And this is the first time I literally had to use running as a way to cut weight. Which I kept telling him, like, it benefited me in a one way only. Doing the little sprints, it helped me to get a little used to the altitude of Vegas that we don't have here. Because it is higher than Miami. Right. So doing the little sprints, at the beginning I was like, oh, you know, it's making me breathe a little different. But like I said, I did it for 3 days in a row. So I got used to like the breathing, because even me and him after the weigh-ins, we went for a jog at night, and he was having trouble breathing, and you know what I mean. And I wasn't, because I feel like I already got used to it. Yeah. The air and the altitude is just different. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
And that's the difference between your work ethic and you know, not to show you know, throw any shade, but you know, and TJ Brown's, because TJ Brown unfortunately did not make weight. What would you think of that?
Well, I don't know why he didn't make weight. It could be he hit that wall, the wall that I hit right after I did 145.8. Yeah. Like I'm telling you, if this would have been a title fight, it would have been 145 on the dot. Those 0.8, I don't know what would do. I don't know about those 0.8. I'll be honest. I told Justin, I'm like, Justin, this is my last push. And I meant it. I meant that. You know, it was hard.
You got nothing else in there.
You know, if you give me more time, I probably would have done it. It's just the time. By 11, if you don't lose it, that's the thing, is you got to know how to work with time too. If you tell me my weigh-ins are 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I would have made 145. Because I would have had way more breaks and let me recover to go cut more weight. You have to let me recover from that, because like I said, right after I get out of the hot tub, I'm not saying dizzy, but you're just weak. You're weak and you're hot. I had the AC at 45. I hadn't put in cold towels on my head and on my feet because I needed to cool down. And in my last run, I forgot to say that, in my last run, we grabbed a bucket of ice with water and he dumped it on my head to wake up so I could go do that run. That last push that I had. Because, and that woke me up.
That's what you need, baby, right
like,
there.
It was like, it woke me up. I was like, woo! And I'm like, okay, let's go do that run now, you know? But like, it's a time. If they would have given me more time, I would have been fine. I would have done even 45, but you gotta give me time. Doing it so fast, so one of the, like, you know, like I said, like I went at 4, then I had to do it at 6 again. I mean, at 7 something with the hot tub, and then at 9 o'clock we had to do it. If you told me 5 o'clock, I would have more time. I would have been fine. And so TJ, for him not to make weight, I believe we were both walking around a little heavy when we both got the call, because he didn't get the call. He got the call the same day I got the call. So either he was walking a little heavy too, or his weights of cutting weight, because you know I was the only person that was running in the parking lot most of it. I never seen anybody else run. I was the only one running. So I think everybody else was using either the portable sauna or their hot tubs. So nobody really tried to go and do the running one, you know. So either his style of cutting weight didn't work, like it wasn't gonna work for me either. Sorry, just because the way I was gonna lose. I normally lose weight is with hot tubs and is with in portable saunas. Like that's the only way I lose weight. I don't go running, so I feel like I would have missed weight if I would have just kept doing it like that. Because I remember Justin told me after the hot tub, oh, we just make it hotter, and I'm like, no, man, I just don't want to be into that heat like right now. And to be honest, like when I'm in a jacuzzi, I could walk in the jacuzzi around and distract myself. When you just stuck like this with water to here and it's hot, you get like it gets you impatient, like
Right.
and it's just not a good feeling no more. I mean, like I said, in the jacuzzi I could walk around. The jacuzzi distracts me a little bit, but they're just stuck like that. Oh, it just
Not a
sucks.
good feeling, but a good feeling is that 20% of the purse. You know what I'm saying? That's a good feeling right there. Justin, what was the experience like being, alongside Danny as he had to, go through such an extreme weight cut?
Honestly, it was a good experience getting to see everything, how everything worked out. Like you said, going from the Global Legion promotion to going to a UFC event, just watching the way that, everything worked and how they did everything is very, very professional and definitely a step up. So being able to see that definitely was cool.
That's awesome. And I wanted to ask you guys, what's something that, I'll go into, the COVID part of it all now, and kind of what that meant for you guys. But what are some of the, biggest differences, Danny, that you see from the local promotions and to UFC?
Oh, look. First, they pay your flight. they pay for our flight. They pay for your flight right away.
Hell yeah.
All the testing, you don't pay for none of that either. To be honest, the journey that we had, like doing the whole UFC, it was great, man. Like we got spoiled a lot. That's how I felt. You know what I mean?
I saw that limo, baby.
Damn, in a limo and everything.
Hell yeah,
right?
baby.
Like as soon as we go, we get to the airport. We do everything, but we get in the plane. The plane is paid. We get off, and as soon as we go into the baggage, there's a limo driver there with my name, and it was pretty cool. It was like an iPad, and it said UFC Danny Chavez.
Oh shit! It was an iPad. Bro. I'm
Yeah.
picturing like a fucking board with your name and an iPad encima, dude. They pulled the stops. They pulled an electronic sign and everything.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And it was not me. It was a couple of guys too. Like they were picking all the fighters that were in the same plane.
Shit.
I just didn't know. And then the guy was cool. He was talking a lot. He was Cuban actually.
Oh, that's
never been in
hilarious.
Miami, which was funny. He told me
What?
I know. He was like, "Yo, I got here to Vegas. I never been in Miami." And I'm like, damn, weird.
Man, weird.
All of a sudden he's like, "Okay, we get all the luggage," and he's like, "Okay, let's go." And boom, limo. And I was like, "Oh, nice." We get in the limo. We're there chilling. Then they take us to the hotel. The hotel is bought by the UFC. It's like they're renting it. Nobody can come. Nobody can
UFC
rent.
fighters.
Nobody can rent a room there. Period.
Wow.
Okay.
So as soon as we get to the first thing they ask us is to go to a little tent that they have to test COVID. We're filling up papers, and then they do the throw one, which is they stick like a thing in your throat.
Was this your first one so far?
No, I already got one for the Global Legion fight. I had to get one.
Okay.
And for the UFC, I had to do a saliva one, like a week and a half before I flew out.
And for every single one that you did Justin have to do it as well?
Yeah. Justin they had to make sure Justin doesn't.
So
have
y'all
it.
got
No, so just
nasal penetration like crazy,
No. It was not through the nose. It was through the throat.
Oh, the throat?
And it was like right there. Literally, just go pop, and then you get a little bit of saliva back there, and that's it.
That's not bad.
It was not. No, it was
That's
not
not
a
as bad
big
as the
deal.
fucking nose one,
Yeah,
dude.
the nose one's hurt, man. Fuck that.
Just intense.
And then we go and COVID test. Boom, everything good. But okay, after that they give us a what's it called?
A lanyard?
No, what's it called?
Yeah, they give us like a
Credentials.
little lanyard that
Oh,
had
okay.
our ID and
then
everything on it.
but in those they keep putting like this color wristband, kind of like
Okay.
But they tell you which ones are which, because it tells you the security who's who.
Oh shit.
So as soon as you get those, we went inside. A lot more paperwork, a lot more stuff, weighing me, and then this program trifecta, which is like they feed the fighters, they give food to the fighters and supplements and other stuff.
I'm assuming it's all like healthy shit.
Yeah, so they give us food. We go to a hotel, and as soon as we enter the hotel, we can't leave it. Like as soon as you get to the building where you're gonna be going, you can't leave it. There's a security downstairs, and he won't let you leave, because he knows the color that you wear. You know what I mean?
Oh shit.
And you have to wear that every time you come down to weigh yourself or to pick up food, because only Postmates and Uber Eats could bring food right there. You know what I mean? And not them. Like they take it to the front desk, and the front desk brings it to you.
Wow.
Yeah,
shit.
they make sure that you cannot leave that building.
So you're in quarantine.
Yes. So we go in, go to the room, and the first thing, nice room, and then you got your bedroom. I got my own bedroom, but your own bathroom, my own bathroom, the kitchen. Cool. So then we're like, we have another room. We had two rooms. One is a workout room. So we just walk down the hall, and there's another room for me, and that one has mats and the portable sauna, and it's just another room, but just like, you know, for me to
that's awesome.
For me to break a sweat, for me to do any type of training.
Right.
And and like that. And then the next day we had more freedom. We were able to go to, you know, to a supermarket, to the PI, which is the PI is like the institute, like a facility for you to be able to train and hit the bag and give massages or do anything, you know. And it was pretty cool. Very nice place. And that's it. Like I said, like I just feel like we got like pampered a lot. I feel like we got spoiled a lot. And like compared to, you know, any other organization, they don't spend money like that. These people, you could tell they spend the money because even when we went to the interviews, everything, one of the coolest things is that we went to the very next building and they made us go there for interviews and for signatures and all that stuff. And they had a bag for me, a Reebok bag, a UFC Reebok bag. And inside of it was just nothing but shirts, socks, sweaters.
That swag bag right there.
Shoes, everything, yeah. And they have one for him too.
Yeah, I got one too.
Damn.
There you go.
Hey, hold on to that because it's going to be worth a lot of money when Venom is the new sponsor. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they switched sponsors. Now it's Venom.
Yeah, next year. But it was cool. It really was because I didn't expect it. I thought they were going to send you stuff. I hear that, you know, but I go there and they're like, oh, Danny, I'll go try your shorts. Or is this gonna be your shirt? Bring your flag, because if it says something on the flag, you gotta make sure. Like they're very strict with what goes on in cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very, very strict with that. Then I had all the interviews, like a Spanish interview. Then I had a little interview with Dominic Cruz and the people that are gonna be commentating, so they could get to know me a little bit before so that when they commented, they know something about me. And but the coolest thing was the Reebok bag, because the bag itself was cool, but then. Once you open that bag, it's Christmas, man. It was like sandals. It was these sandals right here, socks, shirts,
like three pairs of shirts, 3 pairs of shorts.
What?
Like
Oh shit, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. It was shoes, a nice black shoes. And him too. He got his shoes. Like we both got like, I was like, can't really put a number, but I would say like, you know, $500 to $700 worth of clothing.
Fuck yeah,
just like that, just like that, and great stuff, you know.
Hell yeah.
And then let's say, like I said, everywhere we went, we had either a bus shuttle or our own driver pick us up in an Escalade. Was it an Escalade? Yeah, pick us up in an Escalade. And take us to places. You know, when I went to do the pictures and the shadow boxing for the introduction, all that stuff, I was cutting weight, so I'm a little like tired. I don't want to do it, but like I said, just everything they do, it was just so professional. And that's it.
What was the moment? Like, is there one moment that you kind of like go back to or resort back to that it all kind of hit you? That everything's like, you know, was it seeing your name on the shorts? Was, you know, what was it that like a small moment that you're like, holy shit, like this is actually happening?
I had a lot of little moments, I'll say. See, the biggest 3 moments to me was one. When I'm with the flag already on me, we're about to come out, but they told me to stay right there. Because when you're in the locker room, they really will tell you, Danny, you got 4 minutes to come out. And they really will count them.
4 minutes of showtime,
and
baby.
They'll be like, Danny, it's 2 minutes and 54 seconds to come out. And I'll be like, damn. And like, they're really counting those seconds. So when I'm...
Because that's airtime
When
right
I'm walking
there.
out,
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm walking out with Justin and my coaches, and then... we get to a point where they're like, okay, you gotta say, if you're gonna shake hands with them or give them a hug, you gotta do it now. You cannot do it when we're already by the cage. So I get.
Wait, so you can't tap gloves?
Yeah, no, nothing.
So that wasn't on purpose.
No, they just told us we can't.
Did no one tap gloves?
No. I'm talking about like me and my coaches.
Somebody's crew.
My crew.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I cannot give them a hug or props or anything.
Gotcha.
Because the thing is, as soon as we get to the cage, all they could do is hold my clothes. When I take out everything, they hold it. And I gotta let the guy that puts the Vaseline check me out. The referee checks me out, and I go in. I cannot go back and be like, yo, you know, like,
right.
Can't do that.
Which I guess kind of makes sense. They've already patted you down and whatever. So
it's weird because I normally let that happen, but I guess since the whole COVID, I don't know if it has to do with the whole COVID.
I'm assuming.
I don't know, but we did that right before coming out. So when they tell me, oh, you're gonna come out as soon as we tell you, because at that moment they're showing what they're gonna show on TV. And it was me shadow boxing, and you see like those big orange bright lights in the back. Yeah. And they do the chairs, and Danny Chavez, and then I'm doing like the you know. So as I'm watching that was the first moment I was like, oh shit, this is what everybody's watching. That's the first moment it hit me. I was like, yo, everybody's watching this right now. Like this is what they're watching right now. And then I come out with a flag, you know, opening my flag, papa. Then I get in the cage, and I feel good. And I even touch the cage, and I'm like, oh, it's the same cage as the PI. I was like, the same turf, everything. I'm like, oh, I like it. And I started feeling comfortable because I just fought like 3 weeks and a half before. I was feeling very good, very good. Remember, I'm waiting for him to come out. This is the first time that I have to wait. That I have to wait for somebody to come out. I'm the last one to come out most of the time. So I'm like, okay, he has to come out. So as I'm doing my little routine, I always have like my own little routine that I walk from side to side of the cage. As I'm walking from side to side, I look at Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz is looking at me. And I look at him and I go like this. And he nods his head back at me too. So at that moment I was like, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah. Do that shit. You know do that shit.
Because I'm like, damn, this is Dominic Cruz right here. I was like, everybody knows Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going like, damn, I keep walking. And like to me, the moment it was when Bruce Buffer said my name. Like,
ooh!
That to me was like a moment I was like, oh shit, you know, this is real.
Hell.
You know, like,
oh my God.
Because his energy, like I just, the crazy thing is, I said it before, I met Bruce Buffer in Vegas when I was 23 years old. I'm also like 22, 23. And I remember I was inside a casino and my cousin, she wanted a picture with him. So she took a picture with him. And then she's like, oh, my cousin does MMA fighting too. And then I was like, oh, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, she's like, oh, take a picture. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, I took a picture with Bruce Buffer. And then he's like, oh, he asked me a few questions, very like 2-3 questions. Like, oh, what's your name? Oh, where you fight from? Oh, that. And he's like, oh, I hope one day I'll say your name in the UFC. And I was like, oh, man, thank you. And like 10 years later happens, you know what I mean? So
hell yeah.
I'm looking at him, like, and I look at him, I'm looking across the cage because he's in the middle and the other guy's in the back. And he's just looking at here and he's going like this to me. Like, do you want to touch gloves? And I go to him like, no, we don't touch gloves. So I'm keep walking side to side. I'm focusing, and I see Bruce Buffer. The moment that he does when he's like, you know, fighting out of the blue, and he just does this blue corner, you know.
My God!
When he did that, I even I felt his energy for a second. I was like, whoa,
sound wave hit you.
This guy is real, you know. He really puts in that. He really could hype up a fight, like he really does. And I felt that at the moment I'm walking side to side, and that's when I was like, oh shit. My first fight in the UFC, man. I'm about to do this, you know. And then that's it, you know. It's quick when everybody leaves, like ants, and it's just the referee. And the referee is ready to go. And the funny thing is, like, when they say ready to go, I just never seen somebody say, no, hold on, give me 1 second, like, you know. I just never seen that. You know
wait. Let me see.
So, and even if you feel like you gotta, like, hold on, let me get a little bit more. No, when they say ready to go, you're ready to go. Like, yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, and that's the moment. Like to me, those were the 3 key moments. Like that, I was like, oh damn, I'm in the UFC. Like, you know, like.
Fuck yeah.
But it never got me nervous. It never got me nervous at all. Like I keep saying, I guess, because I just recently fought and I'm still in the fight mode and like. I don't know. Just I didn't get nervous. And in almost all my competitions, I never been nervous in the first fights. My first amateur, I was not nervous. My first kickboxing amateur, I'll tell you, I was a little bit more tired for being so anxious to fight. My first professional fight, I wasn't nervous, and my first UFC fight, I wasn't nervous. But I got nervous after all the fights after that. But I don't, for some reason, the first one, it doesn't get me nervous.
Hell yeah.
And you know, if you ever get to speak to Bruce Buffer again, you gotta ask him who his tailor is, you know, because my boy got style.
Yeah, I know, right?
Style. Where does he get the suits? And speaking of, you know, you were talking about where people were watching, or this is what people were watching at the time. We actually have something that we want to show you on the screen.
That dude's got to be sweating though, right, Buffer? With that fucking, those suits always look heavy as fuck, man.
And believe it or not, the temperature of the place it was nice. It was not
oh yeah.
It was not hot. It's not cold. It was fresh. It was nice and fresh.
Dale, Dani. Dale, loco, estoy re orgulloso de vos, papá. Dale, mirá. Mirá dónde está, hermano. ¿Qué lo parió, papá? Dale, papá, dale. Te quiero una bocha, loco.
Oh, you got that. That's pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I never saw this.
Our heart is beating so fast.
Really dropping it down. 26 stances. He's throwing everything he has in these punches.
Okay, there you go. No.
Chavez, really fast hands.
I didn't expect Raptor to trade stance like this. He doesn't do it a lot.
I did it a lot in the previous.
No, I didn't see this video from you. I see something different.
Chavez! That's fucking insane, yo!
The first round, I was like sitting there sweating. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
just that was so nervous. But he doesn't show it. He doesn't make me get nervous. I saw that video from Colombian.
MMA Masters guys, Cesar Carnegie, Chavez. Oh, big elbow by Danny Chavez. They will end 2-0.
That's 2-0, baby!
You're right, there's a good chance you don't have that today. 20,000 plus. Huge.
Boom.
Chavez had an awesome performance in this match. TJ
I never saw Richie. Yeah, it's crazy. Where you got all this? I never seen any of this.
That's cool.
All three judges scored this contest. 29-28 for the winner.
Oh, look at Charles.
Straight to 4, and there is going to be no wiping that smile off of his face.
That was dope. That was dope.
Yeah,
You gotta send me that.
I will.
You gotta
Trust
send
me.
that.
No,
That was
it
dope.
only
That was
took
dope.
like 3 minutes, 3 weeks. But who's asking? No, but yeah, it was actually we.
was dope.
Thank you. We actually hit up a lot of your students and people that I knew, care about you tremendously and support you. And we just wanted to show you that here at Midnight in Miami, not only at Midnight in Miami, but all of your students. And a lot of them didn't even get to send me their video because they were so like into the fight that they're like, I forgot to put the phone, and so there was. But yeah, you got a big support system behind you. So just wanted to show you that and show you that you have a lot of people back at home, and when you're stepping into the octagon, you're not stepping into it alone. Even though I'm speaking figuratively, of course. What was the experience like going into the first round? Talk to me in between rounds. Also, your coaches, they were giving you instruction in Portuguese. I'm assuming you kind of like understand.
It's funny because I was talking to Justin about that recently because he was telling me, give me codes in Spanish sometimes so people don't understand what the hell we're saying. And I told him, like, well, my coach spoke in Portuguese, but at the moment I couldn't understand shit. I understood only 2 times when he said velocidad, because velocidad is speed in Spanish. And when he was saying velocidad, I understood that he wanted me to kick fast, not powerful. So that's when I dropped him with a fast kick, because I kicked him really quick, but I didn't kick him that hard. But I just took him off his balance right away. And when he says derecha, well, derecha means my right hand, you know what I mean? So I understand what my coach is, but then when he wants to give me a sentence, like, blah, 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 and I'm like, oh, hold on. Because I'm not so used to it. I'm so used to either, he always speaks to me in English. He always speaks to me in English in all my fights or in Spanish. But in Portuguese, he's done it a lot in practice. Lately, he's been doing it a lot in practice because he wants me to really learn it, so he could really like decoy, or not decoy, but change, not show what he wants me to do. Because it's like I always tell Justin, because I don't like saying. To me, I train my guys to be able to fight the fight without me saying anything. I'm gonna say stuff. of course. But I'm just saying, like, eventually, look, for example, one point I'm gonna be fighting the UFC, and he's gonna make his pro debut, and he's eventually gonna fight. You know what I mean? Probably the same week, and I'm not gonna be able to corner him, and he's not gonna be able to be in my corner either, like we always done it for the past years. But I'm more experienced right now. You know what I mean? I'm an experienced fighter. My guys are not. But I gotta eventually get them ready to be able to fight a fight without me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
They have to learn how to fight a fight without me being there, without me saying anything, without even listening to a corner sometimes. So like at the end of the day, when you're in the corner, you listen to them probably like 20 or 25% of the time. They'll tell you to throw something and you do it, but you gotta first you're calculating first when to do it, and not at the moment they say it. You know, what I do listen to them a lot, and if you notice in the fight I did, it was when they tell me defensive stuff. Careful, he wants to throw his right hand, so I moved to the other side. Careful, he was going for the Kimura because he was going for my arm, and I took it out. Like, and you see it, but it's like you're breathing. The moment is hard, so when they say that, it reminds you like, oh, let me get this out. When he had me, when I took him down and he had me a little bit in the guillotine, my coach was like, move to the side, you know, stuff like that. More defense, I get to listen to it more than offense, because when it's offense, they tell me what to do, but at the moment I'm like, I gotta calculate, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's easy for me to listen to the defensive side of the coaching and the offensive side, because for me to apply, like my last fight with Global Legion, my coach kept saying right hand, and the right hand is what knocked him out, and the right hand was what hurt him.
Right.
You know, but it's like when they say it, it's like, oh, sometimes. So at the moment, sometimes I do it, but sometimes I'm like, okay, not yet. I see what you're saying, coach, but not yet. You know what I mean?
Do you ever listen to the other fighters' corner?
Yes, I actually got to hear them a lot while I was back, in the third round. And in the second round at the end, I think they were saying like, oh, you're a better boxer. Come on, you're a better boxer. I kept hearing that, but I see where they were going with that, And in the third round, when he was putting the pressure, not really landing, but putting the pressure, and I was just walking backwards, they kept saying, yeah, you go, there you go, like that. I kept hearing they're cheering about it. And they were just telling him to let go of his hands, be a better boxer. I didn't really hear them saying 1-2s or anything like that. They were more like cheering. I feel like they were
trying to hype him up.
Yeah, but those are the moments that I heard. I don't know if I'm trying to listen to my corner. I'm in the fight as well, so I'm not trying to really listen to his corner. Those are the moments that I was probably very close to them, and I got to hear what they were saying, but because I was close to them. Because probably they did give him good instruction, I just didn't hear them.
Right.
What were your thoughts at the end of the first round?
I know I was up 1-0.
You knew it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I know when I'm winning the rounds, most of the time. Like, I'll say.
But you'll also accept when you're not?
Most of the time when it's it's funny when I have a fight where I had like a tough a tough round, because I never really lost the first round, so I cannot say first rounds. When I have a second or third round and it's tough, when it's competitive, you think you lost it,
right?
For some reason,
yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't feel like you won it, or you dominated, or you finished strong the last 10 seconds or 20, you feel like, I think I lost this round. You start thinking that, and you probably won it. You probably did win it, but you start thinking you lost it, because that happens a lot. Like, it happens a lot, literally.
What did they say? What did your corner say at the end of the first round?
Oh no, just is good. Same thing. Just whenever he goes lefty, to move more to this side. I was moving a lot to that side because I'm so used to orthodox. Even though my whole life I trained with southpaws, so I trained with my boy Pablo Afonso. Shout out to my boy Pablo Afonso, one of my best friends. And right now, for the past years, I've been training with Justin.
The best southpaw.
Oh shit!
There you go.
Another of my best friends. So,
okay.
He's southpaw too. So because you don't find southpaw so much in gym sometimes, and if they are, it's like you wish they're clean strikers, so they could really help you too. Not just guys that are southpaw that will throw 2 punches to go for a takedown. Somebody could strike with you southpaw, because that's what DJ did. Yeah, at one point when I hurt his leg, he was just striking southpaw, and he wasn't so great at it, but still, you could land.
Justin, what was the experience like being octagon side?
Well, I definitely felt the energy of the UFC. That was my first UFC fight that I've seen. So
you got the best seat in the house.
Yeah, definitely being there and then having someone that I've been training with for 3 years, watching that, it was the craziest experience.
Were you going up to as far as like at the end of the round, were you going up in the corner as well or no?
I was supposed to, but I was so but I was so in the moment. I didn't really like pick up what was going on, so I kind of just stayed off in the corner.
Because he was supposed to. Like normally 3 corners come in. One, my main coach, Cesar, he comes in the front and he has something recording. Like he has like a thing that could record what he's saying.
Oh shit!
So people could hear it when they put the camera on the moment on him. He was right in front of me, you know, and then my coach is Sensei in the back, and it's supposed to be Justin too, but Justin never was there.
Yeah,
Justin
I just stayed in the chair sitting
because he just didn't. Like,
I was just in the moment. I was just there looking around, watching. So.
Yeah. Talk to me about the end of the second round, going into the third.
No, I think going into the second round, I told my coach, "You want me to wrestle?" And he told me no. He's like, "Don't wrestle. I don't want you to get tired yet. Like if you're gonna wrestle, you may get a little tired. You're winning. You're striking. I'm good. So keep striking." Then in the third round, I think that
talk to me about the beginning of the third round.
It's like not like I can't remember, but it's like you're in the fight and then the coach is talking to you and you're like you listen, but you're not listening. It's like you're just honed down a little bit.
Adrenaline must be
adrenaline.
insane.
So if I'm in the wrong, he just want me to have the same third round that I've been. He just want me to keep fighting the same fight. Like once the first 2 rounds were successful, why change it? Just keep fighting the same fight.
So what made you go into Suplex City?
You know, it's funny. I always say the fight is mentally. You know what I mean? So you gotta train your ass off physically before the fight. That's what's gonna get you to, you know, because I've done that before when I was mentally ready to fight, but I didn't put in the work. So when I'm asking my legs to throw a kick, they couldn't, and I wasn't nervous. I was ready to fight. I was ready to fight, but you're asking your body to do things that you didn't train them for. So what happens? Like you're asking for it. Your mind is like, "Yo, shoot," and your legs are like, "No." You know what I mean? So I already knew it was like 20 seconds left, and I had his back, and I was tired, but I'm like, man, 20 seconds.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, I'm like, yes. I was like, no, I know I could survive 20 seconds right now, you know. So that's when I picked him up, and he got up again, and I picked him up again, and I knew I had the energy to let that go, and like I knew the round was about to be over, so I was able to just throw that last push and just be flashy with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Just throw that last push. You know what I mean? We're not going to no 4th round. You know, like for example, if we go into a 4th round, I never would have left him up like that.
No?
No, I would have just kept kneeing him, kept him in the clinch, and kept kneeing his legs, get him more hurt going into the next round because we only had like 20 seconds left. So why am I gonna like waste energy to win a round that I thought it was already won without the suplex?
There was absolutely
which some people, the judges saw it, I lost it. Who cares? You know, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, like I mean, to me at that moment, I'm fighting. They made me.
Was it a unanimous?
Yeah, unanimous, but 29-28.
Oh yeah.
So they saw me losing the third round regardless, but. My point is like, listen, in my head, I had won the third round too before the suplex, but whatever. Let's say, even with the suplex, they still saw me losing it. But let's say we go to a 4th round, you know, that was unnecessary energy being wasted. You know what I mean? A little unnecessary because then you got to go to a 4th round and you suplex this guy twice and you still lost the round. And now you got to go to a 4th round with just a little less energy because you just picked him up twice, you know? But me knowing that this is it. This is 20 seconds left and we're done. Yeah. You know, so I was just like, let's go. You know.
Was there any doubt whatsoever at the end of the fight that you had won?
No, because he even told me.
TJ?
TJ told me. He's like, good stuff, man. You took that from me. You know what I mean? So
wow.
I mean,
and I was like, nah, man, thank you know, papa. And then we talked a little bit. Like he was like, yo, man.
How was he outside of the you know the
fight?
Having to bitch each other out for the fight.
No, we never really did. Like the only thing that ever happened was at the weigh-ins because I told him like, "Yo, you didn't cut weight, man. Like, I'm like, you couldn't make weight." I'm like, I had 2 camps in 1 month and I made weight, you know. And he's like, he said something in between under the mask I didn't hear, and that's it. You know, that's the only moment we ever had like a moment like that. And after the fight, he was cool. He was even told me like, "Man, I'm very professional. I'm sorry I couldn't make weight." And I'm like, "Nah, man, don't worry." Like. And I forgot what else he told me. And he's like, "Oh, you know, just to let you know, man, I'm not a piece of shit like that. I do make weight." And I'm like, "Bro, my bad for saying some bullshit, but you know, at the moment, you know, you're not my friend, bro. You're not my friend. We could be friends after this, you know. But at that moment, to me, a fight is a fight, man. I'm not here to be friendly with nobody."
When we were filming the reactions, I said a couple choice words about TJ Brown that I had to apologize for afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, because I was your opponent. I had to talk shit. So, but afterwards I was like, you know, TJ, was just a fight. And, you know, the fight is over.
It's over.
It's
Exactly.
all good. You know.
Nah, man, the guy's very tough, bro. You gotta give him that, bro. But he kicked me 3 times,
Undeniable.
and I'm telling you, I feel like I've been limping more than him. Wow. And I kicked him like 14 times. You know what I mean? And I'm a kind of guy that kicks hard. I do know I kick hard, and bro, for him to just still be in the fight, I really thought by the second round when I was kicking him, he was falling. Like the 2 times that he only fell 1 time, but he buckled like 2 times before that. I really thought, I'm like, oh, I got this. He's gonna quit from kicks. I'm gonna kick him to a point he's gonna quit. Like, he's not gonna quit in the sense like, but he's gonna probably, okay, my friend Miguel Baeza, his first fight in the UFC, that's how he beat the guy. The guy couldn't take the kick no more, and he went down, and he just finished with a ground and pound, and he just was covering. While I was in the second round, I'm like, oh, this is gonna go down for me like this. I felt that for a second. I'm like, I'm gonna kick him to a point that he's gonna go down, and he's just gonna like, I'm gonna go in ground and pound, and eventually he's just gonna cover up, and referee stops it or something.
Yeah. Right.
But it didn't happen.
Well, I thought at the end of the second that he wasn't going to come out of his
I didn't
corner.
think he was coming out of the third.
And then and then also, if you could answer for us, when you dropped him and you got on top of him, we could have sworn that he was out for a second. Was he out or not?
No. Well, you remember when I did that elbow? When I did an elbow and I started punching like this. When I did the elbow, there was a moment that he went like this, but I just think, I don't know if it was just, I don't know. I really can't tell. I'm there to hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not really.
It was a moment.
It's like for example,
I was like, he's out. What happened?
I tell people all the time, if the referee doesn't pull me away, I keep punching. I really will. Like when I knocked out Dylan Collin Global Legion, when I look at the replay, I'm like, damn, if the referee doesn't get in, I keep punching him.
Oh yeah.
I really will not stop punching him. It's just the way I'm already programmed to. My mind is already set to go out there and just kill. You know what I mean? So
right.
Very strategically, but kill. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not a guy that just goes and goes crazy, but I strategically go. Once I see you weak or something, it's like it feeds you. Like you're like, as soon as you see somebody like a little weak or something, you already know like, oh, he's hurt. I'm about to put him out. You know what I mean? Like, so with Dylan, I remember when I landed a hook cross and Dylan went down. I just went there and I landed like 4 more punches in him. And if the ref doesn't get in, I keep going. I'm not thinking of. It's like, it's so fast. Like, you know, I think he's out, but you just keep going. It's weird. It's weird to say that. Like,
you can't take the risk of him not being out and then.
No, but the problem is that you could actually bring him back sometimes.
Yeah, that happened to him.
You know what I mean? You could bring him back. Yeah. Like, actually, if you noticed it after
That's what I thought you did.
After the referee pushed me off Dylan grabbed the ref leg or something, and then I was like, oh, he finally like
came to
himself. So, you know, but like I said, it's just me. You know, you got people that are very, very guys. You got guys like Vitor Belfort that when he hurts you, he goes for the kill like right away. Even gasses himself out just trying to finish you in the first moment he sees you a little hurt. You got guys like Anderson Silva that plays with you. You know, he's hurting you, but then he stops and bang, and more calculated, you know, but they're both cold killers. It's just different the way they approach it, you know. You got Vito that you cannot see blood. He's going to go and just let everything go in that one. You got guys like Anderson that will see blood and he just pick you apart more until he finally gives you the last blow. You know, so it's different.
It was a point you started getting fancy with the footwork. Were you just a little bit more comfortable? You know, it was.
Yeah, I really got comfortable. Like I said, I was very composed going into the fight. You know, like for my last fights, I've been very composed. Justin has always been in my corner for my last fight, so and that's why I like my corner because I like, you know, I always have Master Sensei and Justin. Those are the three people that are always in my corner. You know, I had my previous fight, I had Richard, and I had other people sometimes come out, but to be in my corner to be the last people I say peace out to, you know, before I go walk in, is them. And they're very good at being cool. Whether they're nervous or not, they don't really show it to me.
They downplay the whole thing.
Yeah, like Master and Sensei would just be like Master just looks at me and like, brother, finally you're here, you know. You know, and Sensei would look at me, he's like, he's not ready for you, man. Like, you know. And then Justin doesn't say that much. He just hype. He'll be like, woo.
Try and keep the energy the same though.
Hell yeah.
He'll be like, woo. And remember, he's the one that warms up with me. So I'll be warming up with him, and he's just cool. Like I said, I don't
Justin can read the room.
If you are nervous, I can't tell. Like if you really are nervous, I can't tell. I think you were nervous while I was fighting more than me walking.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it keeps me because I'm a better fighter when I'm very composed. If I'm a little too emotional or anything is like that, I don't fight the same. I fight better when I'm very cold. You know what I mean? Very chilled. That's when I fight the best. So.
Did you guys get a chance to watch the fights, the rest of the fights?
No. The UFC don't play. They right away, as soon as we got off the cage, I went straight to Joe Rogan. And then Joe Rogan talked to me a little bit. And then right after that, we go to the doctor. And right when we see the doctor's checking my hands, checking everything. He sees my calf is beat up a little bit. He sees my other leg, you know, because that's the one I kick with. Gives me a paper, and then after that, there's a lady that was waiting for us because she's going to give us a little tour out. You know what I mean?
Like, so did you get tickets? No, get the fuck out.
She goes and she says, takes me to ESPN Español, and we do an interview in English and then in Spanish. And then after that, she takes me to go get pictures. So I had to put in like my shirt and take pictures with the shirt, with the gloves. That's when I have the picture with the flag like this. Yeah. Because they're taking just pictures, like the, you know, the flashes and just taking pictures. Then after that, they took me to another, like a little, not a little Big Ten. And it was to do the post-fight interview. And it actually it's just you by yourself. You know, you go up the stage, the microphone is there, and there's like at least 10 to 20 journalists there just waiting to ask questions. And only 3 of them asked me questions. I answered to them. That's it. I got off. All right, no more questions. Bye-bye. I get off. I'm walking straight to, she's taking us somewhere else in the same place, but just a little down. And we just, I did another interview to another guy in Spanish. And then from there, straight back to the Escalade to take you back to the hotel. And that's it. Like you don't go backwards. You literally go from one place to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, back to your car, go to the hotel.
Jesus.
And then when we got to the hotel, we got a couple of beers, a little bit of wine, you know, McDonald's.
Celebrate, baby.
I know everyone knows I celebrate with McDonald's. So I had McDonald's being, you know, Uber Eats, and we talked a lot. Me, the coaches, and Justin, we just there having a good time, talking a lot, and then we left the room. Me and Justin get to a room, and we started watching my fight because I didn't know it was already ESPN and the replay.
Hell yeah!
So we were watching, but before we were watching it, we were talking about the fight. Like Justin would tell me, like, "Oh, next time, you know, you do this, do that." Like, and it's funny because
Justin don't play.
Yeah, I got off.
It's crazy, like watching it. There were certain moments where I would see that the other guy would land a punch on him. I'm like, oh my god, like because it happened so quick. So
yeah.
So you tell me like certain adjustments I gotta make, and then I'm like, yeah, me too. I think like I got hit a little bit. This is the most I've been hit before, like in my last fights. I haven't really been hit in my last fights.
Is this the most you've been hit?
No, not the most I've hit in my career. No, I've been hit before because I've been, you know, ground and pound before, and that this to me. No, this is the most I've been hit in the last 4 fights. Yeah. In my last 4 fights. So
and Emmy was there actually for the Hard Rock fight.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I brought him over.
Yeah.
He was there for the.
That was
who was it that you fought at the Hard Rock?
It was.
That was the kick KO, I believe.
Fucked them up
was
too.
that
By
the
the
kick
way.
KO?
No. That was the punch.
That was the punch. Yeah.
I forgot his name. They call him Setebala.
I'll look it up.
Setebala is it's like a fast bullet, something like that in Portuguese. I forgot his name, but his name is Setebala. And so, like I said, he was correcting me the whole time, like about the fight. But then when we went to look at it, we're looking at it and we're like, damn, man, it looks different. It looks like you look good on TV. You know?
that UFC canvas makes it for real.
He's like, while I was watching the fight, I felt like there was a lot of moments that he was like, but while we were looking at the fight, we're like, no, man, this is like, you're dominating the first 2 rounds. The third one, you can see where it's like, but I'm saying like, it looks, on TV, it looked more me controlling the fight than probably him watching it live. Him watching it live was more,
I mean, I'm sure.
Right? It was, because when we saw it, we're like, I even told him, I'm like, damn, this is me? Like, because like, it's different when you see yourself, and to be honest, like, yeah, man, you can't compare the cameras of UFC and any other cameras that streams fights for you in the local shows. It's just different. It's the way they follow you, the way the camera angles, everything. Like you really get to see really good stuff, and And since there was no noise, you really could hear the punches and the kicks.
Oh, yeah.
So you could hear things really well. So, yeah, watching the fight, me and him were like, yo, you look better on TV than I thought you did on the real fight. Yeah, that's like exactly what he told me. And I was like, yo, I don't know. I was in the fight, so I don't know how you saw it, because it's different. The experience that he got, I never had that before, which is like seeing what it is, go with a UFC fighter and see what he goes through, you know what I mean? So this was my first experience. But me, I'm the fighter, you know what I mean? So I'm not experiencing it like watching someone do it or seeing someone go through all these things, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's just different. It was different, you know what I mean?
Sure. Danny, what's in the horizon for these next 3 fights that you have left on the contract before the UFC? Obviously, we'll have to renew that contract. Right?
We're looking to fight ends of October, beginnings of November. Just because I gotta recover from my leg a little bit more.
Right.
Get back in good shape. I was like, this was a back-to-back fights, and within a month. So, and I liked it. I did like the fact that I was busy like that, but fights would get harder. Names would get, you're gonna get deeper.
Yeah, bigger names.
So you want to have a little bit more preparation than what I had for the last one. You know what I mean? I feel like the weight cut could have been better if I would have had like the real time that I normally get, like 6 weeks to 9 weeks for a fight, not 2-week notice. And the camp would have been better. More preparation because we looked at his footage and we only had 1 week to prepare for him. But at the end of the day, we've always trained to fight anybody, anytime, any style, any position in the fight. I'm ready. I've been training this for a long time. It's been 14 years, and finally I got in there. And that's why one thing that Joe Rogan always told me was like, "Yo, you look like a very veteran fighter here. You look very experienced."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, man. I've been in the local shows for a very long time, fighting the top guys of the local shows. That eventually they'll get there too. I have other guys that I fought that right now they're in bigger shows. You know what I mean? Like right now, Jason Suarez that I fought for title is in PFL, fighting Lance Palmer, which is the champion of PFL. But I got pushed to next year because of the whole COVID. Arteaga is another great fighter, and Pipe Vargas, he fought for the LFA title, he lost it. But I'm saying like these are guys that are just 1-2 wins away to make it too. So. I feel like I was a very experienced fighter going in here, and that's one thing TJ kept talking about where I was like, he's wrong, because he kept saying that his experience will beat me, and I'm like, you got more fights, but I looked at your record, and your record, you had some easy fights. You got people that do that a lot, they go out there and they find a 2-18 guy, a 3-8 guy, a 0-5 guy. And I'm like, I never fought those fights, ever. I never fought a losing record.
Yeah, they're just building records.
I fought a 500 record or better.
So you've actively turned down easy fights.
Also, I wouldn't do that. I can't do it. Like, what I'm saying is like, I can't fight a losing record. It's just the same. I don't mind if they feel like they know that stylistically you could win this fight. Like, for example, if you got a great wrestling and the other guy has horrible wrestling, but the thing is that the other guy's record has been built because he's been striking with a bunch of strikers and he's winning them because he's knocking them out, but he has no wrestling, no jiu-jitsu, or like he has bad ground, that's good for you if you do have good ground.
Yeah.
And that guy's 7-1, 8-2, horrible ground, but guess what? All his 8 wins have been guys that want to strike with him, and he strikes them and he beats them. You go take him down, you beat him. Now you took his, you take some of his shine, you know what I mean? Because everybody's looking at him, oh, he's a great, but then you go out there, you beat him. And that's different when you look for stylistically a good matchup for your guy, but with a winning record. You know what I mean? It's different when you find a style that your guy could be, but has a winning record. Getting a losing record, it's not good because it could backfire you really bad. I had a friend that was we had Mike Lilly. He was here. He was here with me in the last podcast. He was 3-5. And you would think, oh, this guy is going to be easy money. Because 5 of those losses have been 3 TKOs or 2 TKOs. 2 TKOs. One was a knockout and the other one was a TKO. And you would think, oh, this guy has been softened up already. Right now he's in a 4-5 win streak with a nasty knockout his last fight.
Yeah, it was
cool. You know what I mean? So he's in a 4-5 win streak, now he's 7-5. So you see what I mean? Like, you don't want to take those guys because you really don't know why he's there. You know what I mean? I have a friend of mine, nasty kid boxer. But he's 1-7. But he's a nasty kid boxer. You don't want to stand with this guy. He's gonna knock you out. But he has no ground. So he fought a lot of guys that took him to the ground and beat him. You know what I mean? But if he would have had a good manager, a good coach, or somebody to match him up well, he would have right now. And as he progresses his ground, he would have been knocking people out and had an amazing record. And then by the time his ground gets good, now he really is unstoppable. Because not everybody learns everything the right. Not everybody gets good at all parts of the MMA at the same time. You have phases. Sometimes you're a little bit better of a striker than you are of a grappler. Or some people are just a better grappler than they are as a striker. But you will eventually get it all together. It's just it's a balance. Some things elevate more than others, but eventually you're gonna get all of them good, and you're gonna have a style, the way you fight, that is very successful for yourself. You know what I mean?
Talk to us about MMA Masters. I know Masters has recently a lot of people coming out of Masters that are either in the Contender Series or in the UFC or making it happen one way or another. Talk to us about that.
Well, we've been doing this for a long time.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean, I've been with MMA Masters before it was called MMA Masters. We were in a different gym, and they branched out and they made MMA Masters, and I followed them because they were my coaches anyway, so from the other gym too. I'm actually the first group that we ever built, because some people retire, some people left the gym, it happens, I'm the first one of the group that made it to the UFC. I'm the first one of the group.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
the first one,
That's it right there.
and I mean the first one of the group because there's a lot of people that have been there for a very long time. I'm just saying, like, I started my career with them. My first pro career has been with MMA Masters. I didn't have nobody else. My whole career has been MMA Masters. And then you have other people now that have been there for years, and they actually, now they're making it. They're there. So you first was Miguel. Miguel was one of the, we already had, of course, Ricardo and Amanda and other people that have come to the gym and work with us but they were already there. They just came to our gym and they started working with us and they became part of the fam. But people that were fighting locally and they made it the first one was Miguel. Miguel Baeza was fighting locally. He actually fought with me that did my head kick. He actually knocked somebody out too. Mm-hmm. And he made it to the Contender. Then he made it to the UFC, and he just fought a tough name of Matt Brown.
Yeah.
And right now, same thing as Rafael. Rafael was a Titan FC champion. He won the belt in front of Dana, and Dana liked him, but he was having trouble, finding a fight for him and stuff. And he finally got it, and he just won last Tuesday. He won by guillotine choke. Yeah. And he looked good. He was striking the guy. He's very explosive.
He took the contract to Dana's table after. He signed the shit real quick. Like, let's make sure it's gonna happen.
So there's a lot of great energy going on right now, believe it or not. And then yesterday, my boy Ricardo Lamas, he won Fight of the Night against this guy. Very tough fight. The guy brought it to him, and he had to dig deeper. He's a veteran. Veterans could always dig deeper. And that's really what made the fight. He dig deeper than the other guy had never been in that situation to dig that deep, like to go into that extra gear that you have as a veteran because you've been there. You know what I mean? He's been there 5 rounds with Jose Aldo. He's been in 5 rounds with main events before. So
you think he's actually gonna hang up the gloves or not?
I don't know. I saw his post-fight conference yesterday, and he talked about that he was even thinking about hanging up the gloves fights before this fight. Like 2-3 fights before this fight, like 4 fights before this fight when he fought Jason Knight. And Jason Knight was a very long time. Jason Knight was almost 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago. So I was thinking, damn, if he's been contemplating about retiring, I don't know, like it's one thing he said that I really, really understand what he means is that he's like, this is such an addictive sport because he's like, he wants to hang up the gloves, but at the same time he feels like getting one more, and you know what I mean, because you got your hand raised and it felt good, and he got Fight of the Night, extra bread, extra this, more right now. A lot of when you get Fight of the Night, you probably get a lot of more press, more interviews, more that stuff, and he's still, he's young. You look at him for 38 years old, he looks good. Like physically, he looks in shape. He looks better than me. I'm younger than him. Yes, he does. So. I don't know if he's gonna hang up the gloves. I hope he doesn't because if he does, he lives in Chicago. I don't get to see him as much, and he's been, he's a huge help for me right now that I just got in. You know what I mean? He's one of the, I have a great team, but me and him have some crazy wars, crazy battles. He makes me, like I said, I do understand exactly what his opponent went through because I go through it with him in training, in practice. we'll be getting the best of each other. We're having like an equal round. And let's say we're having like those intense rounds. But he could always go to that extra gear where I'll go and I'm matching him and we keep going. But then at one point he just gets that one. At the end, he always gets the extra, and it's because he's a veteran. He's been in deep waters with the highest competition, so it helps you when you train with him. You know what I mean? It helps you. It was out of my last fights, I trained with him too. Not the last one, but the ones before. I got to train with him because he fought like around the same time, and I start my camps with him and stuff, and it gets me in very good shape because I feel like and I don't mean like we don't throw to kill each other, but we throw nice, but when we have those scrambles, like takedowns, he wants to ground and pound, I go for submission, like get back up. Like we go through these crazy scrambles that he kind of like had with this guy a little bit. And like I said, once I'm watching him fight, I'm like, yo, I know exactly what you're going through. Because especially a fighter like him, there's a grinder, there could be a dog in the fight. It's different if he was to be more of a calculated fighter that wants to just fight striking outside, it's different. It gives you time to breathe. It gives you time to just calculate. You know, he's not like Wonder Boy or guys like that just hopping around, waiting to just counter. No. He's gonna come hit you, grab you, take you down. Like that thing, like I said, he helps a lot in that sense too. You know, so I hope he doesn't, so he could keep coming to the gym and keep helping me out. Like, no, he's a little help, man. He's a veteran. Like I said, he's a veteran, and he's been in the game for a very long time. Fought the best. You know, so beat the best, lost to the best. Same.
I gotta ask, is Colby Covington fighting out of Masters now?
Yeah, he's been training with us for already couple of months, and cool guy. Yeah, he's been training with us. I know people are gonna ask.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Is he cool? Is he not?
Well, I'm not a fan of his political views.
Yeah, I feel you, but nah, I don't judge people for political views. You know what I mean, or religion, or any other stuff.
From what I'm being told from people at the gym, it's more kind of like an image thing.
Yeah, well, like everybody has their image. Like people think like my last two fights, I talk shit in the weigh-in, so people think I'm probably like really rowdy or something. No, I'm not, man. I'm cool. You know, just at the moment of the fight, it's like everybody have their own personality, their own introduction to the people's eyes, you know, and fights. You know what I mean? So people are very quiet. Everybody thinks George St. Pierre doesn't kill a fly. You know what I mean? Because George St. Pierre is very, very humble, very nice, but you really don't know. What if he's a bad person? I don't know. I don't really know who he is. I don't really. I was like, if you really think about the Diaz brothers, you must be thinking they're a bunch of ghetto-ass guys that don't give a shit about anything. You don't know. They're probably very nice guys. You know what I mean? It's just how you show yourself.
Speaking of like persona, personality, and like what you portray, I've noticed that, you know, when you were doing the promotions for the fight, maybe it was I guess, like what I got, but it felt like the UFC or maybe ESPN is pushing you as like, obviously, you know, the Colombian Warrior, but very heavily on the Latin market, the Spanish, the Colombian. Do you resonate more with that, or do you resonate more with identifying as the Miami guy coming from Miami, or, you know, do you feel rightly?
No, Latin.
Yeah?
Yes.
That Colombian
I felt
all the way?
it. No, I felt it. It had nothing to do with Miami. I don't think they care about me being in Miami. I think they really care that I was Colombian. They really, really care about that. Yeah, like
because it's a good angle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I feel like it's a
first I was the first fight of the night. A week before the fight, I was the first fight of the night. As the time kept going by, and I kept getting like interviews from UFC Espanol and UFC this, and actually the same week that I was with Justin in Vegas, like when I got those little quick interviews there, it started moving. The car started moving. I started going up. You know what I mean? And then maybe the fourth fight of the night. And I was like, yo. Hey, and one of the guys is the one that told me, Colombia's #1 newspaper is called El Espectador. Mm-hmm. And we had an interview. In the interview, he tells me, oh, but Danny, so tell me how you feel being the fourth fight of the night. And I'm like, fourth fight of the night? I'm like, I'm the one that, I'm the one that opens the card. And he's like, no. If you look at the thing, it says you're the fourth fight of the night. And I'm like, what? So when I go look at it, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm debuting. A lot of these guys were not debuting. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh? I guess. I guess they They like the fact that I'm Latino and I'm speaking both languages too. They do like that. They always like that. They like the fact that you could communicate with two different cultures.
For sure.
And
bro, Valentina Shevchenko, bro, she Peru. She's like from everywhere, bro.
And she does a little dance, a little.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, but they do like that. They do, and especially my following got crazy. Like I went from 1,700 to like 12,000 followers in a matter of a day and a half. Like,
wow. Fuck yeah.
It was crazy. It was like quick. And most of them are Colombian. Like when you go to your insights,
those DMs must look amazing.
Yeah. Bro, I'm still replying to people 2 weeks later. Like I'm still replying to them, like thank you. You know what I mean? Like, because you have your the messages from everybody that you know, and then the ones that request to the requests. I had a bunch. Ooh-wee. And I was like, damn, and everybody's literally from Colombia, just sending me good vibes. And some people from other places too, from Chile, from Argentina, from Mexico. No, you know what I mean? I gotta, like I said, right after the fight, I never had like this, so much eyes on me for a second. You know what I mean? Like I did literally, today will be like my 20-something interview. Like this is a podcast, which is different because I did like interview podcast, like, you know.
Yeah, I've seen,
I mean, this is a real podcast when I'm here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. This is the first time I do like this. Everything else has been like on the phone. And it's been on the phone where like we're about to go eat and I'll be in the back of his car and I'm like, yo, just go get the food while I'm here. Like, so yeah, you know, I'm here like talking to people. I done it in my room and the living room and I did it one time cooking tacos in his house. Justin invites me to celebrate at his house. And he's like, oh, we're going to make tacos and that. So I'm cooking the meat. So as I'm cooking the meat, I realized I had an interview. And I was like, because that's another thing. I'm not so organized. So I could just forget. And I'm like, damn, I had an interview at 2. Fuck. I have to do it now, you know? So I was like, I grabbed it. And I'm like, with one hand, I'm talking to them. And I'm like, you know, I'm here cooking, you know, I'm celebrating.
Hell yeah.
And as I'm doing that, I'm telling Justin, like, yo, put more salt here. Yo, cut this right here. You know, like, and I'm cooking and he's helping me out because I needed to do the one thing that told me is like, man, you got 1 week, but the first 48 hours are very important because everybody's on you.
That press,
so you want to use as much as you can, but then the whole entire week, do as many interviews, get yourself out there. And I did about 20-something interviews. Like I literally got, and it was the same questions. And
I'm sure.
And it's different languages because sometimes it will be a Spanish podcast or a Spanish interview, and it'll be an English interview. And sometimes I have already certain ways I say. I already kind of like know what to say, but sometimes in English. Like, or like, for example, I want to say
gonorrhea.
For example, in Spanish, you don't say, I'm going to go hang out. You know, oh no, I was hanging around with my friends. Like, I get stuck up in Spanish because I'm not used to saying those words.
You're trying to translate
so
it.
I can't say jangueando because that's not a Spanish. You know, that's a made-up word in Miami.
That's a Miami.
So I was like, you know, fui con mis amigos y pasarle un tiempo. You know, so I'm like, okay, that goes there, you know. So I'm not used to doing so much interviews in Spanish. I could do them. I'm just not so used to it.
Right.
So it was new to me for me to do so many Spanish interviews.
Did you get from all the plethora of, you know, DMs and messages and I'm sure nudes that were sent to you? He's like, yeah. Did you get any like anonymous haters just sending messages talking shit?
No. Every message I got was good vibes. But I did have interviews where the host of the interview would tell me that person was getting messages to ask me questions, you know what I mean? And like they were like asking, how Colombian am I? You know what I mean? How Colombian am I? Because I was born in New York. You know what I mean?
That purity.
Yeah, so people were like, oh, how Colombian are you? And then like, you know, like, and I would respond to them. I'm like, look, you know, I was born in Colombia. Born in New York, Queens. You know, went to Colombia at 7, met my dad, you know, stayed over there from 7 to 14. And I'm like, and then I said, if you don't know, you know, I know what is waking up y tomarme una changua. And, you know, I was like, I know what is comerse un calao, I know what is comer sardinas con arroz, I know what is agua panela. I started saying things that was like culture, like right. You gotta
dropping bars.
I started saying them, like, if you don't know.
I only cut agua panela out of all that. The rest is like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. So all those things that I said is things that you eat while you're there. Like nobody in Bogota, no other place but Bogota drinks changua for breakfast. You know what I mean? Nobody else does that. No other city in Colombia.
It's not like you said some generic shit like bandeja paisa.
Exactly. No, I said stuff that you gotta be from there for you to know what I'm talking about. And I was just like, I'm like, look, I could question whatever I want. I really don't care. But at the end of the day, I got more culture that people were actually born there but raised over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, at least I have culture from it. I know what's going from. I was there from 1st grade to 7th grade. You know what I mean? I know what's I know what's taking the bus, taking my hand, and calling the bus, and then not miss it and then curse them out. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I know what's going on. I went to school there. You know what I mean? Just a lot of things. I just brought up a little thing. So and the guy was like, no, don't get me wrong. Like, you sound Colombian. You look Colombian. Like, it was being cool. And then I'm like, and plus my parents are Colombian. My dad from Tolima. My mom's from Bogota. And my whole family's from Bogota. I have a few people in Medellin and other places, but most of my family's from Bogota. And like I said, like, as a kid, I always thought I was Colombian. I was Colombian. When I was a kid, I was Colombian.
Right.
Never thought like, oh no, but I was born over here. Like, I didn't even like notice those differences. Oh no, I'm American, Colombian. Like, once I got older, then I started realizing, I was born in America, but I'm raised here. Whatever.
Hell yeah. We have a segment every week here. We actually have 2 that we'll run down for you. And one of them is called the movie reviews of the week. And we call them movies, but it could be TV shows. It could be any sort of video media, as long as it's not XXX themed. Danny, why don't you hit us up with that movie review of the week, or TV show, or whatever the case?
Well, it has to be TV show because leading up to the fight, we didn't even watch a movie while I was in Vegas, right? Nothing. We didn't watch a movie. When I'm cutting weight, I'm just watching through my cell phone. I watched El Patrón del Mal. I know last one I was talking about JJ, which was Popeyes, which was Pablo Escobar's right-hand man. I was watching that show, which was, I forgot what it was called, but I know it was JJ. And then I watched this one, because people told me, oh, if you watch that one, watch this one, which is El Patrón del Mal, which is about Pablo. It was 74 episodes long, 50 minutes each.
How can you doubt this man is Colombian? Come on.
And then I watched that whole show, and it was good. I still think one thing I liked about JJ more, it was the cliffhangers and the music in the background when things are about to like. It gets you intense. Like, you're like, oh, it's kind of like, yeah, you feel it. You feel it. Like, if I was to compare, it's kind of like comparing like you ever watch Prison Break?
Yeah.
You see when Prison Break has this little background music, you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Like,
that suspense.
Yeah. It gives you more. I think JJ gave you more suspense than Pablo. Pablo was more like overall story, and it was great too. Not great what he did, the things he did, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying that the show itself was good. That was the one I was watching. And actually, it was crazy because as soon as I finished watching it, a few days later is when the newspaper from Colombia, Espectador, is the one that wanted to do the interview for me. And they were involved heavily in that show. Damn. So I'm watching, because in the show, Paulo bombed that building. Paulo did a lot of crazy stuff to those people, because they were a newspaper and they're like,
they're reporting on what he's doing.
Reporting a lot about the things he was doing, and he didn't like it. So he was doing a lot of bad stuff to him. And I actually even talked to the journalist about it. I was like, oh man, it's crazy. You guys are hitting me up, and I was watching recently the show. And he's like, yeah, man, that guy was bad, man. He did us wrong. And I'm like, man, I'm not saying he was doing good. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy for me that I'm watching a show. You guys are heavily involved in this show. And all of a sudden, this is the newspaper hitting me up to interview me. It's just crazy to me, But that was the only show I seen. Everything else has been sports. It's been basketball and my phone, watching this stuff there. But, like, no, not a movie. I want to go to the movies. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah, right?
The movies are closed, so I want to go to the movies. I still haven't seen. That was the one I wanted to watch. It was when I was in Vegas, I really wanted to watch Uncut Gems. It's
just fire.
Still haven't seen it.
Still on Netflix.
That's Adam Sandler's one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. I gotta see it because I gotta watch it. Everybody's telling me about it. I gotta watch it, but Justin is not a movie fan. So
to be honest, I couldn't tell you the last time I watched a movie.
Justin, what do you do on the free time? Then what you do?
In the free time, I have no free time.
That's a working man.
No, we're usually just training. We train in the mornings and nights. So
yes, sir.
The last time we watched a movie together, we watched Joker.
Joker. We saw Joker.
I don't think it's the last movie you watched, but I'm saying the last movie we watched together.
I know it was
It was Joker. Oh no, that was the last time I went to a movie theater. That was the last time we went to a movie theater.
Yeah.
But last time I went to a movie theater and saw a fight. I mean, a fight. It was fights involved. It was the one that the camera follows the guy the whole entire time. Is a war movie.
Oh, 1917.
1917.
Oh, is that movie? I haven't seen that movie yet.
It's
good.
good.
It's really good. But you got to see it in the movie theater. We watched that together.
It was with me?
Yeah, it was with.
I had Victor next to me. That's what
Victor.
it was. Yeah, you were like over here.
I think Michelle.
You did. I thought the movie was good. You know, not a big fan of the ending. I keep saying it. You know what I mean? I have my own. No, but a lot of people like this. I just thought it could have been a little different. And
Yeah, I got you.
but I think it was a very unique movie. The way it reminded me a little bit of the movie Quarantine.
Yeah.
You know how like the camera, but the Quarantine it was really like it looked more like a video camera. This one was like good camera, but just it was following the whole entire time. Like it's
like it was one shot.
It was a one shot. Or did they make it look like a one
They
shot?
made it look like it was
But
one
it's
shot.
a one shot,
a continuous shot.
Like it just doesn't. It's like if it's the same camera though, following the whole entire time.
That's one of those Oscar ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it didn't win the mini Oscars.
I don't think it did.
I think other movies were out there too. You know what I mean? Jojo Rabbit.
And by the way,
Joker.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Jojo
The other
Rabbit.
guy with the guy and the girl. I forgot what's the name of the movie. Because I watched the nominations and I watched the award. The show.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of other movies that were really good that didn't let 1917 win so much. I forgot what was the other one that people kept talking about.
By the way, El Patrón del Mal. What is the rating from 1 to 5 stars?
I'll say 4.
4 stars.
Yes, because there was moments that I knew. I'm like the way they were sometimes letting me know something's gonna happen to this person, and I don't like knowing that. Once I could pick up, like this person's gonna die.
Yeah, it does suck.
In the show, what will do so much, they'll waste a lot of time trying to like. I felt like they exaggerate when it comes to a sad moment. Sometimes, not all of them, they exaggerate the drama about it. I feel like they were like, you gotta watch it to understand what I'm trying to say.
Hell yeah.
They exaggerate, and like I said, it let me know. Like at one point, I was like, the way it's going down, she's gonna die. I told Chino, my brother, I was like, he's gonna die. I could tell she's gonna die. Like just the way they're building this up, I'm like, I could tell already that she's gonna die. I don't like knowing that. I like
it
being
takes the
surprised.
excitement away for sure.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up, we also have one more new segment here by the name of The Quest for the Truth. And I am going to pick a question out of this deck of questions, and I'm going to ask not only Danny, but Justin as well. So I don't know why you're laughing over there.
Put him in.
He's like, put me in, coach.
Put him in. No, you say you're gonna pick one.
All right. You're right. I do it all the time. I'm like,
All the fucking time, dude.
all right, it's easy.
For both of us?
For both of you. It's super easy. Not a hard-hitting one, all right? If you could only eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh.
Emmy, feel free to think about it as
How
well.
easy
Diego?
that shit is, bro. One for the rest of my life?
A meal for the rest of my life. Like you being like a rice and beans type of thing, or like
whatever the plate is, that's all you're gonna have
for the rest of my life. Oof. Then I will say so.
I mean, I already know mine.
Oh, Justin already. Oh shit!
I'm ready.
Justin,
so
what is it?
I'm a huge fan of seafood, so I would definitely go with something like mixed ceviche.
Oh shit! So you can have ceviche for the rest of your life.
Damn, my mouth just watered. That's not a bad one, actually.
No, I love ceviche.
You go to what's it called?
Saying the rest of your life.
Dr. Ceviche.
That's what's throwing me off, man. For the rest of my life.
Is that what it's called, Dr. Ceviche?
No, Dr. Limon.
Dr. Limon.
Oh, you're talking about Peruvian ceviche, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it has to be Peruvian. Peruvian to me is the number one.
Thank you. Anyone that says otherwise, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't know what to tell you.
Damn, let me see.
Well, we got. That's a great option, though.
That's a really good option.
That's a healthy option too.
I remember on my way to soccer practice in the mornings in Peru, there would be a lady with a little cart that would sell you the little plastic cup with leche de tigre.
Leche de tigre.
Every morning, bro. 5:30 a.m. She'd be out there in front of the university. I walked by. Here's my sol. Here's my fucking thing.
That's the eye of the tiger.
It was awesome.
I would say, man.
That Justin was so quick.
Should I answer for him? McDonald's? He would probably eat McDonald's if he could.
That would be my favorite junk food. He said food, like, you know.
That ceviche, that's a good. Yo,
I don't know, man.
ceviche.
I think to me it would be either sopa de mondongo. It's my favorite soup. I always eat it all the time.
That's an aggressive choice right there, dude.
Sopa mondongo or huh? Oh,
So that, but it's heavy.
sopa mondongo or any type of like pasta. I like pasta a lot.
Ooh.
Because it's meal, like I said. If you tell me anything, because I wouldn't say bandeja paisa because it's always rice and beans. But I think I could have different variety of pasta. I could change it up. So pasta and sopa mondongo. Those my top two.
Fire.
But if I have to lean to one of them, probably the soup.
Wow. For the rest of your life.
Sopa
Nah, bro.
mondongo,
I
man.
can't get over the fucking
Sopa
texture.
mondongo.
I can't get over the texture.
Oh man,
dude.
that's my favorite part.
Listen, oh
The texture
my
when you
God,
chew on
what
that,
the
that
fuck?
chewy
That's
meat.
what makes a
like,
UFC fighter, baby.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
on. Come on.
Dude, I just got chills thinking of the fucking texture.
I like eating gizzards and chicken hearts and
Oh no, bro, the chicken heart's
Pig feet.
delicious, dude. I'll fuck it all
And
up.
chicken
Cow's
feet.
tongue.
Chicken feet.
In Mexico, they
Cow's
have
tongue.
tacos de cabeza, where
Yeah,
they scrape the
exactly.
believe me, I get it. It's just the fucking stomach, dude.
stomach is fire, man.
Oh my god, dude, I can't, bro.
The stomach is
I
fire.
can't. Oh my god.
Diego, where do you stand at?
Rice, beans, and chicken, bro.
Rice, beans, and chicken?
Pollo tropical.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Straight up, yo.
Like, I'll be-
I think he's just hungry right now.
Beans and then the chicken with sauteed onions, though.
Oh, okay.
That all day.
Sauteing onions is you can't go wrong with sauteing
Now
onions.
now it's gourmet. Now it's gourmet.
Dude, I love raw onions though.
Raw onions?
Eyes closed every day.
Both, but the
Yeah.
sauteed onions is fire.
It's because of the ceviche.
Oh,
In Peru, we use a lot of raw onions.
But the red one,
Oh,
yeah.
100%,
it
dude.
has to be
Yeah,
red.
the white one. What are we doing?
It was it would be
Freaking white people,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Nah.
Yeah, I haven't gone to a good Colombian restaurant unless it's with my boy Danny over here. Straight up.
Yeah, we got to some.
Straight up.
Even though I went to remember the last you went to with us with the one that was very decorated.
The dark one. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
And I
about.
went
that the
there.
one
I
on
bought,
And I had the jugo de mora. Is
yeah,
that what it's
yeah.
called?
I went there about a few days ago, like what 3 days ago. Yeah, I think it was like 3-4 days ago, and I bought like 10 empanadas. Not for me, not for me.
I was like, damn.
Oh, damn.
He's celebrating.
It was
he's
for the
celebrating
house.
I don't buy it, Justin. I don't buy it.
He ate half by
I
the
live
time he
alone.
got
I
home.
live alone. It's for the house, guys.
I said you ate half before you got home.
Damn.
I ate three before I got home. But I gave my brother two, you know. And no, not like you, man. Like when the first week of eating, man, me, him, and my boy, we ordered 2 pizzas. And I ordered
It wasn't
cheesecake.
enough.
We ate them all. I got so sick, like an hour later, I had to throw up. They're like, Danny, what's wrong with you? I'm like, hold on, man. I just don't feel well. And I was like, hold on, man. I gotta go to the bathroom, man. Bro, the cheese came out, man. I ate so much. But is it because days before, like, I was already eating, I had already ate pizza, and I was just, man, I'll go home and eat bowls of cereal, and I was just eating, man. I'm telling you, when that first week and a half of after the fight, I'm eating like crazy. So, and I'm eating to a point where like I can't sleep, right? Because I'm getting acid reflux like crazy. So I'm there with like a bottle of Tums, and I'm just eating Tums and trying to go to sleep because it burns, you know?
Yeah.
And then he does that shit the next day.
Yeah, the next day. Yeah. And it goes for like a week, you know what I mean? The bottle's already halfway
Oh,
empty.
shit,
you
dude.
know? So yeah, that day I remember I was raw, and I get like I'm very picky when I eat certain things. Like when I go to get pizza, like it goes from the pizza place straight to my house. Like so, if you were gonna buy any soda or anything, go to the gas station before, because when we pick up the pizza,
It's done.
yeah, I even turn off the AC from the car.
Yeah,
So
'cause
I
that
pick-
shit gets cold
Exactly,
quick,
right?
dude.
You know what I'm talking about? So I just want to get, as soon as I get to the house, I just want to open it, take out the salad, and it's still like the cheese.
I'm gonna buy you one of those Pizza Hut boxes, the bags.
Yeah, bro, the best. And then I ate a bunch of it, and then after that, like I was full, and I was like, oh, the cheesecake. Cause I bought like cheesecake is one of my favorite desserts. So I grabbed the cheesecake and a cup of milk, and I already had drink Coke with the pizza. Bro, I had
All at once in like 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
I mean, like, it came out 30 minutes later. I was like,
Oh, shit.
Like, bro, something's wrong with me. And I'm like, hold on, I think I go to the bathroom, and I went 3 times to the bathroom. I haven't ate pizza since then. I haven't ate pizza since then.
He learned, you know? No need
I
for
still ate
toast.
other things, but not pizza.
Oh my god.
It was bad. It was
Oh,
bad.
yeah, dude.
Oh shit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been such a very real episode. It's been my absolute honor to have Danny, the Colombian Warrior, come on, right after his UFC debut, and not only UFC debut, but UFC dub. Very, important to clarify.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And also, I just want to give a big shout out and big thanks to Justin for stopping by,
sir.
you know what I'm saying? Giving us that behind the scenes input. And you'll be seeing Justin come through for his very own episode soon.
There we go.
You know?
For sure.
Danny, Justin, do you have anything for the people before we wrap up?
Go ahead, Justin. You go first.
God bless and stay healthy. Wash your hands.
Amen. Praise God, baby.
Oh, God, that's super annoying for me.
I can tell Justin's like on your ass. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
All the
Wash your
time.
hands.
Bro, yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday, we went to go to Texas, Brazil, and we were there eating. I was about to start. He's like, "Yo, have you washed your hands, bro?" And I'm like, let me eat, man. I'm like, I don't
Hell
care.
yeah.
And then like as soon as we get in the car, he's already with his sanitizer.
Hell yeah.
Like,
that boy ain't playing. He ain't playing with that Rona.
Yeah. That's it. That's all you have to say. Me, real quick, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody. It was crazy what you showed me earlier with everybody watching me fight. I didn't see that.
Honestly,
the only person I ever showed me a video of them watching was Alex.
I messaged them secretly weeks ago.
Oh, okay. He showed me the one a moment that he was standing. I didn't see the other ones, or the one that he was sitting down. He only showed me one. And I didn't see everybody. I didn't know this. I didn't know it. I don't know everybody who was filming the reaction. And I just want to thank everybody. You know what I mean? Because it's like I always said, and I always give credit to everybody. I don't do this alone. I know I'm alone in that cage, but we don't do this alone. To get there, I need help. I say, like I said, from my training partners to my coaches in the gym to my family and friends, they give me always support. You know what I mean? It's not the same support. It's not the same thing. They don't put in the hours or the sweat and the blood in there, but their support still counts. You know what I mean? Or there's other ways they support me. It could be financially. It could be just energy. You know, sending me good energy. That's good enough for me. And I never really get a chance sometimes to thank all of them like that. I always thank them through a post. But right now, if they see the podcast, they know I'm very thankful. You know, like I said, I'm alone in the cage, but I'm not really alone. I felt it. I felt it when I was there. I felt not only like the people that I know, but everybody that really wanted to see me win. Every Colombian that was actually putting energy for me to win because they see one of their guys there. I could feel like I had a lot of energy. I felt like the spirit bomb was around me. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, boy!
You know what I mean?
Shit.
Like,
Dragon Ball Z reference.
Hell yeah, bro.
so
He's out there.
yeah, no, I really felt that like that, you know. So it was crazy because it really got me it got me watching that because I was like, damn, I didn't know everybody was watching it like that, you know.
Yeah. Hell
It's
yeah.
the first time I see it, and it's cool, you know, because like I said, man, like this is a tough sport, and you need support. You know what I mean? You need support. You know, I've done a lot of things on my own and stuff like that, but I will never say I made it in this life alone. I'll never do it. I had help from everybody. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody, all my students from Fight Club and MMA Masters, because, you know, I move jobs, you know, places, you know. So all my friends, all my family, my little gang, you know who they are. And right here, my right-hand man, he knows who he is. He really is one of my biggest supporters, one of my biggest helps, because my last two, especially, also he's been through all my camps, but my last two, I really needed his help a lot, especially the trips and like we said earlier, making a trip to Tampa. And if I would have done it there, cutting weight would have been horrible. He takes days off of work. You know, has to put in his time. It's you gotta get people's time as well. You know what I mean? It's not just them helping with your dollar too, but sometimes, you know, making the trip with me, I'm taking time from him. You know what I mean? So. And he has to put up with my weight cuts. He has to put up with my weight cuts.
That's a full-time job right there.
He puts up with my weight cuts. He puts up with the training because before the weight cuts, you know, we're training. So, and the closer I'm getting to a fight, the harder I'm trying to hit. And as a teammate, they have to take it. You know what I mean? They have to. You know, as a teammate and as my student, you know, they understand and they know I'm trying to hurt me while I'm training with them. You know what I mean? They don't have egos with me. Whether even they know that day I probably went a little harder than they were trying to go. They understand what's going on, why it's coming, bro. You know what I mean? They know that I got nothing but love for my guys. But when I got fights coming up, I could be a little more intense. You know what I mean? Because it's a fight. You know.
Correct.
And warming up in the locker room, he has to get beat up too. And, you know, like, yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, I think I punched him in the face once.
Yeah,
right?
a couple of times.
Yeah,
No, he's
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, like,
he's
we're
so
warming
in the
up.
moment when you're getting warmed up, and it's like moments before you're about to walk out. He's throwing his shots, but light. He's just placing them, and sometimes they get a little too close.
Yeah, like I think the last one was like I was throwing kick. No, I think I kicked him harder in the Global Legion fight.
Yeah, he threw a couple like spinning body kicks, like a couple of my body.
And then in this fight, I was letting go with my hands, and I feel like I hit him like twice, sometimes a little too close to his mouth.
Yeah, crossed right in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So these are things that they gotta put in. I do the same. I have to go through the same thing when they got fights coming up. I try to warm up with them, and sometimes they hit you, and I don't say anything. I can't say anything, of course, because I understand. I understand what they're going through, and the moment you're getting closer to a fight, you hit harder, and everybody, like I said, this is not just a thank you just to. I'm not trying to just give names because I don't want nobody left out. You know what I mean? Everybody's giving me help. So this being right here is a lot of help. You guys are helping me to expose myself, all that stuff. Like I said, everybody that puts good energy towards me, I thank you very much. That's everyone I want to thank. You know, like I said, I give a few specific situations, but I really just want to thank everybody that's putting good energy. You just not everybody could be involved in my career as much, but like I said, as long as you're watching on TV and you're screaming, you're screaming and you're going for me, you're putting that energy towards me. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hell yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is every Thursday at midnight. You know, you got a new Midnight in Miami episode. Where? Everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram. I don't even know, bro. It's everywhere. It's on Stitcher. I don't even know what the fuck Stitcher is. All right, it's on Deezer. I don't even have a Deezer account. You know, like it's everywhere. Find that shit. And if not, you know, Friday while it's the last day of the week and you just hanging out, you got to put something, get your mind off of the work. You know, get your little mind somewhere else. Put that Midnight in Miami on YouTube more than anything, because that ad revenue is nice. You know what it is. Emmy, anything for the people?
No. I mean, keep going. You know, a little bit hungover, so hopefully tomorrow's a better day. But
Diego?
Heat Nation, baby.
Heat Nation. Yo, listen.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow, right? Yeah, tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. Oof.
Fuck yes.
Oof.
I take that back. Let's go Heat. You're
there
right.
You go. There you
You're
go.
right. You're right. You're right. I forgot.
And stay tuned for Danny, the Colombian Warrior's next fight in the UFC. Please follow him on Instagram and everything and all social media. You see it on the screen. Hit that follow as well as Justin. And you'll be seeing, again, Justin soon coming up for his very own episode. And we'll get into the nitty gritty. We'll get into everything.
Questions there. We got some questions there.
I want to know.
He won't be alone. He'll come with the other two.
Oh yeah,
Alex and
Trust me.
Alexander Martinez and Richard Major, which that's my little gang right there. So
That's your little gang. Teenage
that's
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's my little
right
gang
there.
right there. Yeah, I'm Splinter.
Splinter right here, baby.
Splinter, yes.
That's Splinter. And you got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right
And we
there.
eat pizza, you see?
Exactly. And I make a pizza.
That's fucking hilarious.
I make a pizza
to
in
the
the back.
point that you get sick. To the point that you get sick for sure.
But yeah, it'll be Alex, Richard, and Justin joining us soon, and that's definitely an episode that you don't want to miss.
Yeah,
you know,
I would love to see that.
Oh no, he's gonna be in the audience. He's gonna be here.
I would love to see
that's
that.
That's gonna be a shit show.
I would love to see that episode.
That'll be a blast. So stay tuned for that. And how do you stay tuned? You hit that subscribe just so you know when every single new guest is gonna come on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been oh so very real with Danny, the Colombian Warrior, Chavez.
Thank you.
And Justin. We will see you every Thursday at midnight. Holla.
Thank you.
And it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami. Where you can push it to the limit.